This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. 7 o'clock in the Valley of the Sun, where it's a lovely, chilly 107 degrees as we go to air. It's Al Perkins had the brunt of it. He rides his bike to the studio, and your red wine is at more than room temperature today, for certain.
I actually must have written here quickly because it's not.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Now, Katie June just told me that she left her house, which is literally 2 minutes across the street from here, and she had yogurt-covered raisins that came from an air-conditioned house to here, and they're already melted. They're melted.
Yep. Open the box. Melted.
Melted. Done. Marnie, do you have any stories of woe from the heat? No, good.
No, I'm good.
All good. All right.
The heat makes me get places early.
Yeah, because Marnie was here before Katie today, and it was really weird.
Yeah.
But in honor of my 28th year here this week in Arizona, sometime in the last week has been my 28th anniversary.
Sure.
When I first moved out here with my the original Missy Almobile, there was a nickel sitting on my driver's seat. And, change falls out of pockets, falls on seats. You don't think of it all the time. I'm not particularly motivated enough to move things.
Especially a nickel.
Yeah, that's not worth my time. No. I don't do things for a nickel an hour. So, not realizing I had moved to the Valley of the Sun, I sat down on the nickel. It seared the back of my bare leg. I flew up in the air, hit my head on the roof of the car, screaming, came back down on the hot nickel, burned myself again. That nickel fucked me up.
Wow. Now, by chance, is there a scar on your leg from said nickel?
Unfortunately, I can't see that part of my body.
And few others do either?
There was a welt there for a while. Like, it was serious
There was
burn.
a radio station that used to say, "Well, to the Valley of the Sunstroke." And I don't remember who it was, but that's funny.
I don't remember that either, but that's kind of true. And also in Phoenix, for those of you who aren't around a climate that's as hot as we are here, most anywhere else, if a car catches fire somewhere on the freeway or anywhere in any other part of the country, it's just a car fire. Yeah. In Arizona, we call them a carbecue.
Yeah.
And it is crazy that.
And you go to cool yourself off by them.
Yeah,
that's cooler.
Oh, that fire's cooler than the sun.
And the tires. I've had so many tire blowouts in my lifetime of driving. Just like from the hot road.
And we get a lot more, and if you're on the highways a lot, traveling cross country, you might be more familiar with this. The retreads that they put on the back tires of like tractor trailers and things, well, in the heat, because they expand so much, they just roll off and they're everywhere. And it looks like you're trying to run over alligators all over the goddamn place.
That always makes me laugh.
And that will fuck your car up if you just hit that, because you're hitting a tire in essence.
That's the part where I'm no longer laughing.
True.
Hi, Harrison.
You also don't spend a lot of time on the freeway. You're more
Not
of a
anymore.
surface street boy.
I used to really drive everywhere. It changed when I moved downtown, and then other circumstances made it worse. But I mean, I'm kind of like, I drove to California, no anxiety attacks for the entire time. I made it cleanly through. There was no. I was a passenger with Tim driving. He's a good driver, but passenger is what I'm really freaked out by. That's the one that I really have the trouble with.
Yeah, a little more in control when you're the...
Yeah, driving I'm not as freaked out. But I spent a day with Tim driving, and I didn't freak out for the whole thing. We were on mountain roads and stuff. And
Twisty-turvy.
Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit better.
One thing I always have appreciated about Al is his... it's not a car. He couldn't give a shit about the car. It's a rolling jukebox is what it is.
I was going to say, what are you listening to?
It's a good stereo. That's really all he gives a shit about. Fuel efficiency and a good stereo. And we don't give a shit about the rest of it. And he drives around.
I don't even know it exists. There might be a back seat behind me. I don't know. It's not what we're here for.
We're not here for the back seat. Not at this age in the game.
Radio on wheels.
No, I own a house with a bed. We don't need the back seat. We're good.
My computer is just a stereo.
Oh yeah,
that takes text.
Messages come in on.
I say my phone, the iPad. They're all just stereo. They're all just ways to get music. I really could care less about any other part of it.
True, I totally understand that. Oh,
people are like, "Oh, do you ever want to on your computer?" No. Would you like a piece of cake? You're never gonna get that right.
The occasional printing of a boarding pass when you go somewhere. Other than that, that's about it.
And even that's gone.
Because
now
it's
on your phone. I even pay for Starbucks on my phone now. You do the shake and pay at Starbucks.
Yeah,
I have drank so much Kool-Aid.
Yeah, you are really getting close to it, Mr. Jones. You really are.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, indeed.
Would you like something to eat off a Mother Teresa commemorative plate? No, I would not.
Well, here we are, boys and girls. Glad you're all with us. Thanking everybody who's
That comedian with the gay rules.
right.
That looks like the Franklin Mint threw up in your bedroom. Would you
Got
like
it.
a piece of cake?
Marnie has
Mother
printed
Teresa
out
commemorative
ass hat
plate?
awards.
The ass
Oh,
hat awards.
We have blanks. We have blanks so that
we
we
can
can.
fill in
Last
that
week's
fucking
was
moron.
last week's was a makeshift award.
We may have to, but
We could probably blow through that entire stack
this week. This week.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Hobby on one, lobby on the other. Done.
that and the five.
And the 5.
Right, the 5. I mean, there's that.
I actually thought about writing them out on there ahead of time, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
let's not
it's a-
rush to judgment.
Hey, it's a decision for all of us.
Yes,
So.
it is. By the way, I brought something a little fun today because I know Al was having an issue with room temperature. That was a topic of discussion last week. So I brought an infrared thermometer so that if at any point
God,
in
that's
time we
amazing.
can check the temperature of anything. Like for
scares me.
example, 47 degrees right now is the outside of this mug.
Oh my God,
So
can
if you
you
want
try
to,
this?
oh yeah, we can check. Let's see. There's
Now, Clayton,
that's 58.
Now, do you
Ooh.
have to wear those glasses that you
No,
bought
you don't.
to go? Okay,
No,
good.
that
okay.
out right now.
Those glasses.
Right now that's 83.
Oh, maybe you're getting my
Wow.
hand. Maybe you're getting my
Well, I
hand.
don't know. So
Okay.
you just pull the trigger and you see the laser. There you go. See what you got.
79.2, 79.1, 78.7.
So
Live radio, ladies
So I
and
want to
gentlemen.
feel free to use that throughout the show. If we need to check if it gets too warm or too cold. I
I'm
wanna-
dead.
Yes, Marnie, time of death, 6:30 p.m. Arizona time.
He's got the finger on the pulse.
Yeah, based on maggot accumulation and body temperature.
Where was I
clearly-
at?
Try my forehead and see if it works.
Oh yeah, it does.
Well, apparently
No,
it didn't
there you
because
go.
I wasn't anything.
That's a, what do you say? Her forehead is about.
Oh, again, diet 6:15. Diet.
It's not true.
DOA tonight.
No, you have to give it room. You can't do that. You have to.
Well, none of us. This is not any of our accurate body temperature, so I'm a little.
Maybe it
confused.
doesn't measure
but-
body temp, though.
But it might be the
Not in-
surface temperature
right,
because
not
we're
in-
being cool.
Not internal.
So
You
91.
shove it up your ass
True.
and pull the trigger and see what happens. I don't want it back.
Feel
That's
free.
yours to keep. It's a gift.
It's a gift with purchase.
Cool, though.
It's
No,
a gift with
no
insertion.
purchase.
As soon as you
purchase
insert it,
necessary.
you own it.
Yes. Yeah, so you pull the trigger, the little laser thing. Like if you aim it at the light, you'll see they're about 104 degrees. And the vent, you can
My
see 65
water
degrees.
is a chilly 57.9.
Yeah, see?
Just how like I like it.
Good things.
I do have to say, of all the silly toys you own, I could probably spend a fucking day with that thing.
Yeah.
I really feel like I could just like I'm temping everything over
Oh yeah.
my
Oh,
side
I
of the
do.
table.
Yeah, you do.
This buys into the tiny touch of OCD I try to deny I have.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of it. Ton of OCD. Yeah, so you can check your
It
laptop
gets hot.
temp.
You
Yeah,
know what
they
else
get warm.
gets hot? Those these
The little chargers. Yeah.
I'm about to find out how hot.
Oh, good. This is exciting radio. Katie's going to
right.
find out how hot her
Well, I mean,
chargers.
that's good news for if you're traveling and you have it in your purse next to your yogurt covered raisins.
True. It's 99 degrees. This son of a bitch.
This son of a bitch.
That's bastard.
God damn it.
God
Son
damn.
of a bitch.
Oh, it is July 1st. I don't know. We're
So cool.
Where Tomo, feel free to keep it out there if we may need it. Where Tomo is, it's already tomorrow. It's Wednesday. It's July 2nd where he
isn't
is.
that-
So
oh.
we'd like to thank Tomo and Richard and Harrison, everybody who's in the chat room.
Hi,
my mom,
everybody.
Guys.
my mom found her way in there
Hi.
again today. But hi,
guys.
Meow Cow. Oh, she's there too. Hi.
He.
Why do I always say that? I don't know why I always say that, but I
Just
do.
so that I can have Tourette's. and
Marnie's
yell out,
girl. Marnie's girl's in there as
Hi,
well.
Marnie's
Hi,
girl.
Marnie's
It's
girl.
a busy
Hey.
day in the old chat room.
When did Ernie sober up? Thursday?
Oh, Saturday
Early Friday.
evening.
Yesterday. Yes, right.
She was hysterical.
She had a good time.
She sure did.
I felt-
Drunk on
Right.
Manischewitz.
That
I
was
felt
great.
a little bad for the kids in the class for the next day, but then she's the one who summed up and said, whatever.
fuck 'em.
Yeah,
Wait, what did she do?
She got
figuratively.
a little, she was enjoying herself.
She filled in for you last
Oh,
week and,
yeah.
and drank.
Oh, good.
She made a
Yeah.
homemade version of the chosen people's wine. Literally, homemade Manischewitz.
Yeah,
my
it
God.
was.
I don't even know what would possess someone to make homemade versions of
I
something
don't
that's
know.
shitty
By the way,
store-bought.
It wasn't on purpose. It just happened. It was like, God made water into wine.
What was she?
And so did
was she
Aaron.
trying to make French toast and ended up with
Maybe.
Manischewitz?
Was it? It was literally an organic moment. I guess what you're trying to say,
really
is
was.
it?
It really
I wonder how you even make that. What was the?
Nope, I don't know.
Lemon pledge,
But
cranberry juice.
it was very poussé and orange
You
is the
can
new
go
black.
and ask her for the recipe.
Oh,
No,
that would mean we want to make it
not.
again.
Yeah, so I'm speculating here.
I am not ready for that yet.
Oh, that really made me laugh.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I know.
So can Ernie? Will she be joining us too when
When what?
when Mr. Perkins is out of
She
town?
very well may be, because she's going to be on hiatus as well.
Meow cow.
What? I
I'm
saw
a
that.
guy.
I thought it was Llama Guy.
Oh my God, that's my new favorite.
I am a guy?
That and
I am a guy.
No, that shows you.
that and where's Vag from last week? Because that was fucking really
Meow Cow.
funny.
I thought
Remember
it was
that?
Llama Guy. But hey,
Cal, no, the Canadian.
Oh yeah, we thought it was like
Oh my
so
God,
bad.
It was Steven.
Yeah.
But wrote, I'm a vag or something.
Something about being from
Oh
Vancouver,
my God.
and he was like, "I'm a vag."
Like
Okay.
art from.
and we were like, "Well, there it's
congratulations, Vag.
And Erin wrote Canadian art something, and she wrote Sea Vag.
Oh,
That's what it was.
that's
That's
right.
right. Sea Vag. And we were like,
That
nope,
not,
and all of a
not
sudden,
the same thing.
And all of a sudden, he became Steven real fast.
Canadian Van Art guy.
Canadian.
Hi, C Vag.
And you
It
get a
was
vag, and you get a
hysterical.
vag, and you get a
She
vag.
just thought she was making it easier by, condensing the whole. Well,
Yeah.
yes, Steven.
Sure.
That's what we call him.
Or the biblical version of that name, Stephen.
Yeah, exactly. Done.
So that's not the Manischewitz from last week.
No, that's
No, I mean
that's,
it's still bad, but
It was like Jewish sangria. It was so
that's
wrong.
exactly
It
what
was.
it was.
It was.
That was so much. And
Because
then
I love sangria.
Yeah.
Right, but if you've ever had the Chosen People's wine,
I have
it is
not.
not good.
Well,
No.
and so
like
it was kind of
dirty
like
s-
it was like half sangria, but half Manischewitz. She's only half Jewish.
She's Jew.
Yeah, exactly.
Jewish.
how would that? Is that like a lesbian Jew or a lesbian?
A Jesbian.
A
Jesbian.
Oh, she's a
Yeah,
lesbian.
she's
A
just
Jezzy. She's a Jezzy.
what was that last code?
She's Jezbonic. She's a lesbian.
Good Lord. We're starting off well with
Okay.
insulting
Hey,
all
girl.
kinds.
I was just gonna say, all are welcome here, and we'll be mean to all of you.
Well, it says in the On Hold music, we're
weekend.
we're not politically correct. We're not sober. So get ready.
Yeah.
All weekend, Aaron and I kept looking for a bell. we would just pretend.
It does punctuate a point.
You actually can go to the Manischewitz wine website, which I'm doing now. Must be 21 to enter.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
and it's so hard to
let's-
click that button.
Yeah.
See what's happening.
But you know what I
there.
did find out about those years ago? If you, even at my golden age, if you time out too long, it makes you reload the entire page because it's like, oh, this little kid's trying to figure out how old he has to be.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
How funny.
They do. They
Yeah.
actually time it up. So if you don't know real quick, right, yeah, take off your
If you
toe.
don't actually know your birthday.
Right,
Yeah.
then they're going to assume that you don't need to be in that website.
And I was trying to find out the actual temperature the other day, and I forgot I had changed either my phone or my iPad
To a different city?
to Celsius.
Oh,
For Tomo and Richard, and I'm like, I don't have time for this. What the fuck is that temperature? And everybody at work is looking at me like, what is wrong with
calm
you?
her down. Get her coffee.
Especially since at work we
Or
do
some
everything in
Fahrenheit.
Celsius.
Oh, so it's 41 degrees Celsius outside right now. It's
Just remember, 40 is hot.
100
Got it.
Well, no, when you're,
And I'm dead.
40 is hot. No
when you're
shit.
dealing with anything Celsius, whether it's the weather outside, your child's temperature, your temperature, 40's a problem.
Yeah, 40 is an issue.
Yeah.
100
Okay.
Don't wear a sweater. Get the kid to a hospital.
And don't forget to take them out of the car when you get there, because
Oh, yeah.
that seems to be a recurring problem.
Take a peek at our page.
Which page?
Scary.
We had a photo up there. Because,
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, the Laura came running at us and said, "You have got to meet your new biggest fan," and all of a sudden she brought Vicky out.
Is
who's
Vicky in
their
the blue
bartender-
shirt?
Uh-huh. Their
Okay.
bartender manager.
Yeah.
She is fantastic. She listened.
Laura looks
She's like,
good.
I about peed my pants, she said. And so I was cracking up because we should get like the show with Clayton McKee depends. Because have you noticed that, a couple of people have written said they were going to pee their pants.
Our show's a leaker.
Yeah, it's a leaker. we could have that on the butt of it.
Where is this picture?
It's on the show.
It's on the show's page.
Yep.
And it's You'd have to go there. Well, you have to find the.
I think I'm there. All right. Well, move on.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway,
we'll get it.
so but Vicky.
And her name is Vicky.
Her name is Vicky.
Got it, Vicky.
And she is our new long-time
And she
listener.
is up there with Laura.
She is.
And it's in
Sedona.
Beautiful Sedona.
They just opened Hideaway House.
Okay.
And it is
too much fanfare and
beautiful.
Disgruntled from other people who
That's
thought
right.
they were stealing their shit.
Yes, and as she pointed out, why would we want to steal your menu?
Right. You're closed.
You failed.
Yeah, you failed. That's a good thing. We want to steal that.
But it really was.
We also are going to rebuild the DeLorean. That was a good.
Really good idea. That was a great idea.
Yes.
Anyway, but very fun. She came out and I thought, well, did she pay attention? Did she really listen? What was it like that for her? And she said that she sat there and noticed that that initially I'm completely in tune, that I am paying
But all you do
attention,
is look at your paper.
But I'm doing this and I'm multitasking. She said she laughed through that the most because I was just very on point, but very much.
You at home were.
I got shit to do.
I'm gonna get it all done right now.
Right.
So, but I thought that was so funny. She
Well,
said,
Vicky,
"You just
welcome
saw you
aboard."
keep everything in.
Now, does she listen live or does she listen to us on repeat or does she on demand? Because there's so many ways to get to us.
She actually watched us live last week,
Very
from
cool.
what I understood.
That's very cool.
Yep.
Hi.
Richard's cracking me up, and so's Harrison.
Why? I'm missing. I've done the term.
I'm a guy, and Harrison, I'm a girl.
Thanks, Harrison.
Clarification. We're
I'm
all about
loving it.
transparency here
I'm
at the show.
loving it.
All about it. Well, it's already a
And
quarter.
if you're undecided, it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, you don't
That
have
too.
to. If you can't, if
Absolutely.
you can't pick one and you just want to exist, please exist.
Stop by.
Yeah. Enjoy crafts from a
Anybody?
local store.
No,
if you want to.
Exactly. Cabinetry.
Hello, anyone?
Cabinetry. It's a quarter after the hour. We're starting off. Welcome back. Katie was gone last week. You were doing the upcoming event, Dancing with the Bars, is coming up, and you were doing what with that?
So I'm a mentor this year, and they added in
because you're a wuzzy.
I'm a wuzzy.
You won last year. You're not a wuzzy yet because you're the current title holder.
That's correct.
Yes.
For a few
Three more
weeks, couple more weeks.
Yeah.
So I had gone over the weekend, and I kind of felt like I did my due. Like I gave my time over the weekend. I literally spent all weekend long with Dancing with the Bars doing filming, which was great. And it was really fun. And just like, in each of the video segments, very a la Dancing with the Stars, and a la kind of The Voice when they're working with the mentors and they have the video shoots.
Right.
Yeah. So then they added another piece on Tuesday night that was supposed to be earlier in the evening. So I thought I could make it here.
Right.
And it was like a little mentor filming piece. So it ended up getting pushed back, so I wasn't able to be here. And then it got pushed back to like 7. Then it got pushed back to 8. And when I showed up at 8 o'clock, it didn't actually happen until 9.
Oh, jeez.
I was ready to rip my hair out. I did have a diva moment, and I had to like apologize to Gary afterwards because I had a moment because I was just like real tired. My night was real thrown. Anyway, I got there actually, and Mike Chesworth, God bless him, was like, "Oh, you're not wearing that, are you?"
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And that's a gay man saying
Oh yes.
that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I
He
was
should
like,
know better.
I guess I'm not. And he literally said, "How close do you live here? Can you go home and change?"
Now, where were
What
you?
did you have
Dance
on?
Stars. So all weekend
come
it had been
on.
this filming like from the I was just very unaware of what was happening, or I wasn't paying attention or something. So it had been all weekend like neck up.
Okay.
So I had thrown my hair all weekend. I did my hair. I was all ready to go. So it's fucking Tuesday night, and I'm like, no, I'm wearing a bun and I'm putting on a shirt and putting on some makeup.
Just like you're coming here.
Right.
Exactly.
But I had
Fancy.
some makeup on, right? So I was fine with it. I'm like, look, if I'm going to be in a number of different videos, I looked real great 2 of the days. I can look like shit on the 3rd video. Like it's fine.
Okay.
So it
Progressive
was not
falling
that.
apart.
It was like, yeah, exactly. I can't handle this. So
This is how you look at the end of your reign.
yeah. Well, that
totally.
Dancing with
This
the
Stars.
bitch is
That-
ready for her step down.
that meant-
This is a
Fucking
mess.
trophy.
That
It's been a
meant-
long year.
Gary,
Long, hard
we're going to
year.
need to talk to you about the mentor program.
I know. It's
Maybe you
terrorizing
need to
me.
continue that, make it
I
longer.
thought it was like a very much neck up kind of a thing still happening. It was like a full body photo shoot, video walk. It was this whole thing. And so, yeah, I had to go home and I was like, fine, I'll go change. And I had to like do a dramatic storm out. It was a whole, you guys, I was a hot mess.
There should have been a production assistant somewhere who should have texted you, called you, faxed you,
Seriously?
sent you maybe samples of clothing.
It was
that?
embarrassing. It was like a legitimate diva moment.
Wow.
Like I know. Fortunately, no one was paying attention because the rest of the people were practicing for their video shoots. So it was really just like me, Selena Vega,
I hate that when
Gary.
people are busy with their own lives and I'm having a temper tantrum.
I know.
Notice me.
Yeah.
I know. I walked out and I came back in and I went up to Gary and I'm like, I just feel like I should say I'm sorry for being a little bit of a diva just then. My game face is back on and I'm ready to film.
Now this is Gary, who's worked with you for years and
yes.
knows ups and downs.
Oh yes. So he laughed. It was funny. It was great. And the video shoot came out great. If you haven't yet, for the local listeners here, or actually if you're not a local listener, you can log on to Ion Arizona Magazine.
Oh, that's right.
Google
And see-
Ion AZ magazine, and they're the print sponsor of Dancing with the Bars. So all the photos are out of all the new dancers just today, and they look fantastic.
Oh,
and
I can't wait to see it.
It's actually a really jam-packed issue of Ion. It's a really, really great issue.
And for those of you who don't know, it is the letter ION, not EYE. It's IONAZ magazine. And there is like she said, online edition is available right now. And if you're local, you can swing by a local establishment and pick up your very own copy right then and there.
So the event, again, it is the 27th of July.
What do we have half off right now?
Why do I think it's 28?
Is it the 28th?
It's the last Sunday.
7th.
Is it 7th? All right, 27th.
Yep. I think
Last
it's
Sunday in July.
Yep.
Got it.
It's the 27th,
Okay.
and it's at Celebrity Theater. It's going to be really, really
I'm
fun.
so looking forward to
Yeah.
it. Do we know any more? Has Gary said anything else about this?
He hasn't
this
actually.
D-list celebrity that's supposed to co-host with me?
He has not.
Not that I'm not
I plan
D-list
on-
enough. I mean, by all means.
I plan on being there on time.
Okay.
Meow.
No
cat out of
diva
the bag.
moments. No diva moments for
No, but I'm
Marnie.
certainly not dressing up.
Yeah, it will be really,
be
really,
lucky.
really fun. So
I am looking very forward to it. In the
That
round,
was what I was
it'll be
doing last week.
it should be a good time.
It'll be good.
Very cool.
Very nice.
Ryer.
And right now our tickets not half off. Is that
They
true?
are. Oh yeah. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So
just in case anybody is around here.
SwayEvents.com.
yeah, you can go to swayevents.com, and that will actually, or you can go on their Facebook page. It will actually take you to a link on Ticketmaster link, but that you can enter the code IONAZ for 50% off the ticket price.
We have a question from the chat room. Molly is posing the question.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
What qualifies someone to represent a bar?
Oh, yeah. So good question, Molly.
Does it have to be a bar?
I thought you answered yes when you were drunk one night when Gary Guerin corners you somewhere.
Yeah. No, okay. So it's actually really interesting, and I think I know what Molly is asking. There is
Because she's never been asked. Is that what they're finding out?
No. There's actually a guy who's representing the Cash, and he doesn't hang out. My understanding that he doesn't necessarily hang out at the Cash.
Oh.
He's not like a Cash goer.
The professional or the amateur?
The amateur.
Okay.
His name is Nate. He is God, I don't even know what he does for a living, but he's up.
God, I don't even know what he does for
I
a living.
don't
You sound like
know.
you just woke up regretful
Who
next to some
is-
guy.
I know, right?
God, I don't even know what this guy
Who
does for a
is he?
living.
I'm not drinking that Jewish man of Charlotte's anymore.
Oh, what am I
We're
gonna
gonna
tell
one of my good
Helen?
hand towels. I
Yeah.
don't even know what he does for a living.
The drapes
That
are
was
a mess.
another. I get diva apparently when I'm doing when I'm representing my. I'm about to give up my title. I'm pissed.
Yeah, I understand.
So anyhow, he does a video, like a YouTube channel called The Nashley Effect with Ashley, who works at Echo Magazine, and they're both gay and fantastic, and they host some things and they're fun. So he got paired up. I don't actually know because when I did it, I didn't represent a bar, because I'm not a bartender.
Right.
Although throughout the process, now I used to be like a big Cash goer and I know the owners. And so throughout the process, I ended up like kind of representing or being able to take advantage of the Cash to do some fundraising. And they were really great supporting me. I don't know. He just got paired up with the Cash because the Cash didn't have a dancer.
Yeah, and
He needed a bar,
I think
I
of the
guess?
Bad News Bears. They weren't really working for Barry's bail bonds,
Right.
But Barry's
But-
bail bonds was willing to sponsor them.
Right.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, you just go around and see who wants to throw your name on the T-shirt, and
It's exactly
and
what
let
it
you
is.
host some money and do some fundraisers.
Poor
They
kids.
get a little publicity.
Yeah.
But it is my understanding that there were some, just questions like, why is this guy representing the Cash? Nobody here knows him. Which I think like it's definitely a weird fit.
But the real question is, why aren't any of you that go to the cache and work at the cache, stepping up.
Yeah, because it was
Why
definitely
are you leaving the void?
This year it was an audition process. You had to actually
What a good
go
question.
to an event. They were all over the valley and actually do an audition. Sort of like a video diary, like here's why I want to do this, because they were really trying
Not
to
just like hand puppets and
they were right.
I mean,
You probably could have done hand puppets, but they were trying to really weed out the people that like really wanted to participate, as
Yeah.
opposed to the people who go, yeah, I'll do it, and then drop out halfway through.
Right. Or are you just standing there watching someone die a slow death on stage?
Right.
as we've all done.
Yeah. Well, we've all seen it.
Yeah,
That's
we've
for-
all
Yeah, but
that's for
sometimes
damn
they're
sure.
the ones that want to represent the bar, and it seems like a great idea, and then you're like, oh, you don't have stage presence.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
a couple of them should have had stage presence because they're stage performers. Didn't translate. I'm just going on hearsay.
Oh, now Molly's saying it wasn't her question, but by the by, neither the 3 dance teachers or the 4 DJs from the cast were asked.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well,
Well,
and you
Molly,
got
I
to.
think you have another question to ask.
I know it is definitely.
Follow up?
It was not I was really not an ask thing, and please understand, I was not involved in the planning of this at all. So
She is just a title
hearsay.
holder.
Clearly, and a bitchy
know.
one at that.
Yeah.
At this
I
point.
know, diva. But I think it was more of a, they had so many people who wanted to do it this year that
Right.
they were just taking people that came
Yeah.
to audition. So that was it.
That's exciting.
Anyway, yeah.
Ryer.
Yes.
Moving on to you,
Yes.
my dear. How
Yeah,
was your little trip? You and the missus
Yep.
went north, and
We
we
did.
briefly touched on Sedona, where you went to see Laura and Vicky.
Yep, and Vicky and Steve as well, Laura's husband.
I remember.
We he's the old guy in charge.
Okay,
is
is
what
that
she
what they
calls him, OGIC.
GSC.
That's
Those
fun.
are just
Yeah, so we went up there. We spent most of Thursday and Friday.
you posted a
doing
lot
that.
of pictures.
Yeah.
There was ice cream
There
involved.
was, oh my god, yeah.
It's just lovely up there.
It wasn't cool, like as cool as we were both hoping, but it was just beautiful.
Sure.
Just beautiful. We ended up going to a place called Grasshopper
but
something.
Point.
Ernie bitches about
Grasshopper
70
Point.
degrees.
She
So.
sure does.
Yeah.
Like I
Let's be clear.
was okay. It wasn't. I thought it'd be a little bit
cooler.
cooler,
Yeah,
but,
but it's
you
still
know,
summer.
Romance, fantasticness, wonderful, perfect.
Oh, that's nice.
So much love happening right there.
It really was. It was quite a perfect weekend. We went up to Flagstaff after that for Friday night, Saturday, and most of Sunday, and
Cooler up there still?
a little, but we didn't go to Pride. We just happened to be going up there.
The
and
same
it happened to be
weekend,
that
right.
Weekend. Ran into quite a few people that were up there, and so
a-
that
a
was kind
cute-
of fun.
It's a cute little town.
It is.
I
It
always
is.
forget that I don't get up there more. Cause
Did
There's
you
no
realize
reason
that
not to.
Berlin performed at Pride up there? The group Berlin.
Right, and I always have to be reminded that
This
Berlin's
last
the one I
weekend?
don't like.
Okay.
Take my breath away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, especially that
Wait,
song.
how does that song go?
Take
my breath away.
Not like that.
From
at all.
Top Gun,
Top
Oscar-winning
Gun. Yeah.
Nightmare song.
Yeah.
He danced to it
I
at
don't know
prom.
why.
No, the only-
I'm
Not
like,
you,
But
but-
they did Sex, that's their big, that's the
I feel like I
big
know
song from-
Berlin, but I cannot pick. I feel
Oh.
like I should
Takes
know.
my breath. I'm not doing it.
feel
now.
like I
you're
should
doing
know
the Rex,
that.
because there's a Rex
No,
Smith
I know,
song
I'm
called
like,
the same
wait,
thing.
That's not it. No.
They did Sex, they did a
Sex, I'm a?
I'm a bitch, I'm a whore, just Google
no.
sex. It's called Sex, That was
Oh.
how they came on.
Parenthetically.
Literally. And then Berlin had,
Good, Katie.
because I mix up Berlin and Missing Persons.
Right.
But then Tim always has to remind me that I like Missing Persons. Because the one day I was dragging my feet about going to this concert, and Tim's like, oh, for the love of fuck. You think you're going to see Berlin, don't you? And I'm like, yep. He's like, no, Missing Persons. Nobody walks in L.A. Spring Sessions
Oh, I know.
M. And
See,
I'm
I know
like,
that.
yeah.
Nobody walking in LA.
Yeah, same kind of
Walking
thin
in
reading
LA.
voice, but one does good music and one sings "You Take My Breath Away." It makes you want to kill myself.
Or actually
Sex,
have no
I'm a-
breath.
Yeah, that is
Yes.
really one of the worst songs of the '80s. Like that's like one of the worst memories of the '80s was.
Well, I wasn't saying that just because I thought you liked him. It was an 80s band that has got, that's
And
where they
she's-
are
she's
now.
she's in Thank God It's Friday with Donna Summer.
I did not realize that.
That's where she comes from.
She just as an individual, or was
Yeah,
that group?
No, she's the
Because I've never seen Thank God It's Friday. I know that shocks you.
Oh no!
Hashtag.
It's a terrible movie. There's no reason you should.
No.
Okay.
Hashtag audio problems.
I'm seeing it on here, but it's not on our end.
Okay, cool.
Everything's rolling out of here at the
Just
highest,
making sure.
the highest speed that Cox will permit me to pay for.
Yeah, so I can't remember what her name.
That's what he said.
Terry Nunn is her name.
Okay.
And she is one of the two girls that is.
Yeah, she's blonde.
Yeah, she's blonde, and they're in Thank God It's Friday. They're the ones that are trying to get into the dance contest. It's fun. It's a terrible
God,
movie.
Missing
but
Persons is the 10, 9, 8, Da 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 4 3. I never get to 1. Isn't that what they're one of their songs?
I don't know that.
Would
one.
you Google that missing persons and see what if 1098 is one of their songs?
Riding on the Metro is Berlin.
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm.
I get
call.
them confused, so I got to pick them apart.
Riding on the Metro. Got it. Okay. I watched a movie this weekend called Breakers 2. Actually, not just Breakers, but fucking Breakers 2.
I got it DVR'd. Well, here's that's the kind of shit I DVR from
Here's
HBO.
the best
Done.
is that Kelly actually stopped on it and she was like, yeah.
Totally.
And I picked my head up, I'm working and I
Yeah.
go, seriously,
What the
what
hell?
is this? And she's like, Katie, this is
Yeah.
Breakers 2.
Done.
Like, it was a thing. I'm like,
And by the way,
we watched the whole thing.
Breaking.
Breaking. Forgive me.
God.
Yeah. Excuse me, Marnie.
Oi is
we,
right.
we totally snuck into the first one. Yeah, we did.
Breaking.
Yeah. Breaking.
I'd
And
like
then
to
the
shimmy up
second,
the cross on this one, but I love Xanadu, so I
Electric
have no.
Boogaloo.
I
You
have,
can't not
no.
buy it. Oh. It's
I
so
got
good.
no
It's so
room to
bad,
judge
it's
on this
good.
one. Yeah,
That's awesome.
From the so bad it's good
Fun.
category, I
Yeah.
own Xanadu.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
I went to
Video,
see that.
DVD, CD, album.
I saw
love
that,
that. I love
at the
it.
Herberger.
Yeah, not the same as the movie.
Xanadu.
Because
Yeah.
they make fun of it. The movie, it's dead serious.
Oh, right,
They
yes,
mean it.
they
They
did,
mean
yeah.
they mean it sincerely.
Awesome. Anyway, apparently people were bitching about Pride to a degree. I mean, everyone
Why?
has something to say.
Always. You can never
and every
put-
year,
Oh,
every
yeah.
year.
This one I kind of understood. I think I didn't. We weren't there, but from the different people that
They
we
moved
heard,
it from the downtown park. That's
they
all I
heard
knew
and
about
it. Was
it.
Pride in the
Oh.
Pines,
Okay.
right? And remember when we were there, we had our little cover and we whatever. Yeah, apparently that it's Pride in the open fields.
Okay.
Oh.
And so there are no pines, and it really was warm, and the
Okay.
sun
Oh,
is
it's
still,
hot, yeah.
the sun's still getting you. So most people.
So it's
were
like Pride in
red.
Phoenix.
Exactly.
Well,
No
They-
trees for shade. You're just there.
85 degrees
I-
instead
Right.
of 100.
I have no inside information other than what I believe to be true in regards to this. They were getting, because Flagstaff Pride was getting larger and larger every
Mm-hmm.
year, and Kat and the crew up there they were getting complaints, noise ordinance or whatever
Oh, I
the hell
can believe
complaints,
that, yeah.
and they had to. I believe they had to move because literally it is in the heart of downtown Flagstaff, right across the street from City Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Blocked down from the Hotel Monte Vista, all that stuff. I think they had no choice but to move it out of that park in downtown
Yeah,
Flag.
that's really too bad though, because the park itself
It's lovely.
is
Yeah.
so beautiful and is not too. It's not too small. I mean,
No, for
when
the-
I was there,
Plenty
when
of room
I've
to
been, there's
walk and-
lots of room,
yeah.
and it's like intimate enough where it's close enough and it's fun. But it's in a neighborhood,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
so I can understand.
we're
And I'm
going
sure,
to-
I'm sure the parking gets to be a bitch too, because
Sure.
It does.
Tucson, like a couple of weekends a year, pretend it's a big city, but Flagstaff never does.
No, right.
And
Yeah.
those
Flagstaff does not even pretend that they ever have people.
Yeah,
There's no
it's
problem
weird,
parking
though,
here. We don't have
because like
cars.
Right.
the residents, you must be
Can't you
they
ride
get
your
used to
sc-
college,
can't you ride your
college
scooter?
kids. So I don't know. You'd think like it's a weekend out of the summer.
Sure.
It's too bad that that's that I tend to agree with what you're saying. I mean, I would
I'm
believe
pretty sure that's
yeah.
what it
Yeah.
was. I'm very curious. As you know, I've said before, I believe it's the 29th of September. It's the last Saturday of September. I'm going to Cottonwood to host the Sedona Verde Valley Pride again this year, and it's such a different Pride, and it's a beautiful weather. It's cooler than it is here. Again, they use a
Yeah, but that's not much cooler. That's
No, it's not much
Yeah.
cooler. It's cooler than here,
Yeah.
but we're not talking 40 degrees. We're talking maybe 15 to 20, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But they do it. I was so surprised last year. It's a smaller, more intimate Pride, but they do it. They have there's a park downtown in Old Town, and there's a softball field, and they cordon it off, and boom, that's where they do it. And it's literally because I thought last year, similar to our Pride, they go till 9, 10 at night. No, I was done and in my car by 7, and I had driven back to town because I
Yeah.
was gonna stay.
You were gonna stay, I remember that.
They had a room for me, and I'm like, well, I haven't been drinking and I can be home in an hour.
Yeah.
So I just shimmied right down
and
the hill.
that's a easy fucking drive.
Oh, it was beautiful, easy drive.
You can just
yeah.
roll down
And
that
I
hill.
always think of you when I make that drive up or back because of the Taco Bell in Camp Verde.
Yep, Cottonwood, Camp Verde.
I
Those are the
always
two. Yep,
think-
helped open both of those.
there you are. I think of you every time.
did?
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I used to drive up there and work. That's what made me want to get a CD player, because I used to drive up there with a boombox run on batteries in my back seat, playing CDs.
Can you imagine? Can you fucking
I really
imagine?
honestly can't.
Because there was no way yet. There was no way yet to burn a CD.
We had radios
a
when I started driving, so
but I can't do commercials, and I can't let someone else pick my music, because I'll end up listening to the soundtrack to Electric Boogaloo too, and I'll be like,
Breaking.
By the way, I can't find said song based on a potential title for missing persons.
I think it's 10-9-8 is what the
No, Molly has it on here, unless I'm misunderstanding.
Oh, Molly knows the
Was
song.
it the motels? Not the motels.
Unless I'm lying.
Because 789.
Is that it?
yeah, I was wondering what that was about.
I never get to one.
Who sings the?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, now I got you. Now you got to the part that I know.
I said that earlier.
Oh, I never.
Yeah, but I think you just carried the tune.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do 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 do.
Yeah.
Is that it? Or am I just making that up?
Maybe you're making
So,
that up.
I don't know. Anyway.
You might
So
be.
what part of the
I'm
show are
gonna
we
Google
on now?
Where
We're
do
on
you?
another her. We moved on to you.
Oh, well, the only funny thing about this week is, well, I went out in public the other night, which was fun, and
Scared most people.
Yeah, you were at BS.
Yeah.
I laughed and laughed. I just thought, what?
How do you
are
think
the
they
chances?
felt?
yeah,
I
terrified.
thought that was fantastic.
Was there an employee meeting we missed? I don't know. What's
But it was a lot of fun. And then I'm working up to this very carefully orchestrated schedule up to Thursday at 9:30
Okay.
in the PM. So today was the day for my insomnia to be in full effect, because I was hoping to I worked last night, stay up all day, go to bed tonight directly after the show, 10:30.
Sure.
Oh no, today's the day that I get the best non-pharmaceutical day of sleep in the history of the world. Fell asleep promptly at 5 to 9 and woke up fresh and ready at 4:45. I'm like, motherfucker, this is the day I needed the insomnia. I need to switch my sleep schedule tomorrow. Tonight, I need to start switching over to different time zones and different. And I just laughed.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I woke up and I'm like, what is it, 9:45? I've been asleep for 30 minutes. Oh no, 8 hours later. I'm like, what the mother humper? Well, brew the pot of coffee and break out the HBO, because girl's gonna be up for a while now.
That's funny. Michael's been going through the same thing in regards to sleep, because he's been used to being up, and now he's up at 6:30 in the morning and up and out and on. So, now he's so used to being awake at night, similar to what your schedule is.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, this sucks. I can't do this. I can't.
Yeah, that's why I can never switch over to day schedule. So that was just a funny little irony, just a fun little treat that to be well rested on the day that I was just planning, hoping, and expecting to be tired.
And
This
just
bitch got to get cleaned up tomorrow.
No.
So
Fancy.
stuff's gotta happen. And you, what have you been up to?
Same stuff. Working on things for us and work and running around. I was at Scottsdale Community College today updating software for them. It's always interesting to be in the school. Maybe to me it is. You're at the school. It's like if you go when you were in school, like in elementary and or in high school, and if you ever had the occasion to have to go to the school when it was out.
Oh.
Because the teachers are all just regular people.
Yeah.
There's in this very case, this one's smoking in her office in the school, literally, not kidding you. You just see them.
That's
You
awesome.
just see them differently, and you're walking through. And because of the point of sale stuff I do, it's in the culinary area, so you're in this huge kitchen. It's really not much different than being at a huge restaurant. It's just when you get to campus, there's 6 cars on campus, and they're all staff. So you're not fighting for parking. You're not walking through the halls with all these kids and people and whatever. It's interesting just to be there in the off season for school. Though they do go back the 21st of August is when they orientation, and they literally start classes the next Tuesday.
So, but do you remember when you used to see your teacher in the grocery store or something and mind blown? When you'd see
You
your
live outside
teacher
of this
buying
building?
steak. What? I just remember that experience and just really can't fathom. I cannot wrap my head around what's happening right now.
Yeah.
When teachers are humans.
it was
Or that one of my high school teachers was my dad's childhood best friend. And finding out that they were both younger and they used to do things as children
and fun.
That's gross.
This is so weird.
Yeah.
It's
I know
so
this will be a
funny.
shocker to you, but my home ec teacher.
Yep. I can picture you in the apron.
No, I don't like that. That sounds weird. No, but because I figured out
On the back of a tractor.
I don't want to make that cookie. I just want to vacuum again.
I
Let's go back to
Well,
vacuuming again.
I figured out how to manipulate my way through this because I didn't want to do any of that shit. So what I did was I took, because you had an elective in 7th grade, you had no choice. Like 1/4 of the year, you had shop and you had whatever the other fucking things were you had to take. Anyway, forget it.
There was a petition to get me out of shop after the nightmare that was the first semester. They were like, "It's just safer for everyone if you don't do this."
Go back and take another semester of theater.
Because the birds are still traumatized by that house you built. The migratory patterns of birds have all changed.
We can't live there. No. So
Molly, you're in danger, girl. That house.
I had worked my way, my magic with Miss Himby, who was that teacher, and I worked into all of the office stuff she didn't want to do. Graded papers, did all of her stuff, did all that stuff.
Oh my God, totally.
I worked that whole OCD into that. Well, then I was so good at that, she paid me to come to her house on weekends and do all kinds of organization at her home, and I used to do.
Do you know what her name was? Mary Kay Letourneau.
Which is really crazy. You really couldn't do that now. You really could never invite a student to help you anymore.
No.
Never.
Unless I got a
Because that'd be
long look at him and then be like, yeah, he's just here for the
I'm literally
organizing.
just here for the cleaning.
Yeah.
He just wants to organize my stuff.
She couldn't get in those pants with a wrench.
She'd give him. She'd fail him.
I gotta say,
Fuck you, Marnie.
And my niece Megan is listening due to
Due to
due
boredom.
to inclement weather and lack of Oh no, she just went to bed.
Bye.
But it is later there.
Yes, it is.
Which, because of inclement weather and bad no TV because the power kind of went out, so she was left with internet.
Sucks to be
Marnie,
them.
Ernie's met students at Pride. That's a trip.
Yeah, that's got to be fun too.
When you run into your
but
students at Pride.
but though
Clearly, they're not checking IDs because she teaches 6-year-olds or 6th graders.
No, anybody can go to Pride.
no, you just can't drink. You can't get the wristband.
Right. So,
But you would never know because you're just there for the booze and just to walk around in the dust for a minute. And,
nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I mean, you're not.
No.
Yeah,
but
okay.
anymore, I mean, I think at one point it was crazy because I remember walking by and realizing I saw my teacher and her husband, like they were doing yard work or something. And I remember knowing where she was, and we stopped and said hi. And it was just this weird thing because she went into teacher mode.
Yeah.
God, that was my 2nd grade school teacher. That's
Oh
a long,
my
yeah, that's a
gosh.
long
Yeah.
ass time ago.
Nice.
We had one
long
really,
time.
really cool teacher, and it was a tradition that at the end of each year in 6th grade, we would TP this teacher's
many
house,
times were you
the
in
6th
sixth grade?
graders. Well, not me. Forgive
Never,
me.
not Katie.
Every 6th
And then I
grade
done
class.
repeated it like 5 times.
And then every 6th grade class would TP her house. And so I was one of the TPers my 6th grade year. And she lived at the end of my street. She was the coolest. But that was fun because then we'd all go back the next morning and take pictures and help her clean it up. Like it was just like a fun thing to do.
We
you know?
were good pranksters.
Yeah.
Responsible.
Responsible. I was in student council, for God's sakes.
Well, that's
I'm
a
a failure.
I was on honor roll every semester, so there's nothing to be judged by that.
I think
No, yeah, me too.
You were
the
never there.
exciting part is that
No, I was always at school. Tim was never at school.
I thought you were never there. You were in your basement all the time.
No, I always went to school.
Oh.
And even Buff State, I never went to any classes at Buff State, but I went.
That's what I'm thinking of
physically
then.
went to
That's
school
awesome.
every day and
That's
sat
it.
in the union and got drunk. Like
Wait, wasn't there a stairwell smoking weed in the
yeah,
stairwell?
The
Good.
Stairway to Nowhere.
To
at Buff
nowhere.
State.
Yes, right. Good. I like it.
Dude,
I remember,
have
I
a paper, leave a
remember
paper.
that.
Two real quick points. Funny that Aaron would fail your ass, Katie, because I'd be the one cleaning it up. Also, she may fail you, but I'd be like, "Fuck you, good."
Yeah.
Anyway, and Meowcal, do you see what he says? That he drives a school bus, and the kids saw him walking. They just thought that he lived in the school bus.
That's fair.
I think that's
Some
great,
people thought
yeah.
Siegfried and Roy were just friends.
And those were just kittens.
Now, I know this is going to be a surprise. Speaking of school buses, I used to walk. We were the first stop.
You drove your tractor to school.
I never drove the tractor.
You
I
wanted to.
no, I never drove the
I know
tractor.
to look at him. He's like, I wanted to.
I wanted to.
No, sure I did. Are you kidding?
I can plow that street.
No, I was
Better than
so
them.
fascinated by buses. Seriously, really, I was. I used to.
The good news is he doesn't collect those.
Oh, I want a Silver Eagle
know
so
you
bad.
do.
Yes, I
remember
do.
seeing
I-
you
it sounds
found
good.
It
one.
won't fit in
Sounds like
Al's
fun.
garage,
Yeah.
but
Gotta
I'll
Google that.
Jesus Christ.
No, look up Trailways Silver Eagle bus, and you tell me, yeah.
Oh, now,
Anyway,
no,
I used to walk because our bus stop was the first one on the route. I used to walk like 3 or 4 blocks from home because we lived really close to the bus barn. Yeah,
that's a special bus.
That's what I want.
That's good looking.
47 passenger, got a bathroom on board. We're going somewhere. Is what I'm saying with that.
I like it.
Anyway, but I'm only taking like 5 people because I don't like 47 people all at the same time.
Yeah, you don't like that many people.
But I used to walk to the bus barn, and I'd get on the bus before they would start the route, and I would ride the entire route with them because I just thought it was cool.
Nice.
Isn't that stupid?
Why not really? Because you
It's
because of the tie-in
actually
with
very
your grandfather.
sweet.
I mean, that total
Yeah.
tie-in makes
I
sense.
think it's sweet, sweetie pea.
I used to enjoy it.
I love it.
It is a quarter.
So before we do news, Alapay Cellars. I can't recommend that. And I have to say that I really should have joined this wine club.
Did you check the temperature? Did you check
Yes.
the temperature?
Oh, we got to do that now. I really have to say, and it's a
Temperature
rule
check.
that I always forget that if the person that you're talking, and all wine conversations about wines are douche. Like you just sound like a douche when you talk about wine. The guy that was like bottled this and did everything, I should have joined his wine club, but he was a douche. So I was like, oh, just buy the wine and get away from this guy. Everything I bought has been spectacular.
It's very good.
Oh, now it's down to a very reasonable 74.9. But it's Alapay Cellars. This is a Langreen.
I've never had anything like that. Yeah.
So good. So nice choice. So if you find them in your local market, Alapay. Oh my God. They're
However
so
you
good.
self-identify.
Alopecia?
Right.
Totally
Alopecia.
different, but
The
yeah.
little furry in the bottom.
Soup stiff.
There's that.
Something.
We're coming back with headlines, Marnie and I. We got more coming. Drinking Word is literally 20 minutes away. We have so much to do. We got 2 hours, 15 minutes more to go. Please stick with us and join us in the chat room and let us know what you want us to talk about. And if we like it or don't, we might do it. So we'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Hi, I'm Katie from 1 in 10, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to serving LGBTQ youth and young adults here in the Valley. Please join us at the Land of Oz in Scottsdale for a fabulous benefit concert on Saturday, July 12th at 7:30 p.m. A $20 suggested donation will benefit 1 in 10. For more information, call 480-483-4666.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Ooh, here we go with some headlines on this Tuesday night, July 1st, 2014. In America, it's Independence Day week. Mama Tits confronts an anti-gay protester.
There's a Mensa match.
Man steals chicken suit, then wears it to wing night.
Tarvish Smith from Florida.
Carjackers have a total failure.
Soccer is America's moral decay.
Killing a spider? Burn your house down.
Man robs a bank? Nope, just shits on the floor.
And Mormons and anger management come together. These and other stories right now.
Did you say Mormons or Mormoons?
Mormons.
Morons?
I heard more moons.
Did you
Oh.
morons?
I heard more moons.
Oh, I
Okay.
didn't. That'd be a totally different story, wouldn't it? The
Morons.
Mormoons. The Mormoons. Let me change our camera shot so that I can get.
I'll give you more moon.
Yeah,
Fuck
hey,
them.
calm
Hey,
down.
hey,
Hey,
hey, Buckwild.
you're gonna poke an eye out with that.
Stop it.
Well, this past weekend, many cities had their gay pride. It was San Francisco, it was Flagstaff,
big weekend.
Seattle,
New York.
New York had it.
Minneapolis?
London,
St.
I
Paul?
think.
Oh, in London.
Minneapolis,
My
there was-
parents are at London Pride.
Oh, fun.
Fun.
Wow.
so cool.
Jan,
So
Jan the
random.
man.
Jan the man.
Getting her
She
pride on.
literally said,
Jan.
she's like, check it out.
Jan the man.
Pretty cool.
Well, Mama Tits is Seattle's iconic tough as nails drag queen, and
Yeah,
she
she
confronted a group of anti-gay Christian protesters attempting to disrupt the start of Seattle's Gay Pride Parade this past weekend. Interestingly enough, Mama Tits, who I believe his name is John or Johnny, is Carlton's boyfriend's friend. He knows him.
Oh, well, fun.
Oh, that's fun.
So Mama
Small
Tits gave the Seattle gay scene a breakdown of the confrontation, and she says, quote, "I saw them coming up the road pre-parade and looked at Sylvia and Donatella and said, 'Ladies, let's make a wall.' And before I knew it, I was standing tits to nose with the leader guy on the megaphone, and it felt like that I had the strength of all the people who had ever been hurt by these people standing right behind me and giving me power. I was almost in autopilot mode from my days back when she was a sister of perpetual indulgence. I planted myself in this path and I wouldn't move. When he walked around me, I got back in front of him again and again, and I stared him in the eyes, and I could see the pain in his eyes. I could see that he was scared, and he should have been because, hey, I'm fucking big."
Yeah, girl.
Apparently, she pushed a sign away from. I pushed his sign away from my face and hair because you don't touch my hair in big capital letters, and it was all I could do to not get violent because I didn't want to because at that point we all lose. So they tried to surround her, intimidating, doing an intimidation tactic. But let's face it again, I'm a big girl, so they weren't really going to screw with me. So I do have, and this is a little over a minute. It's but we can listen to this. This is a minute and 15 seconds of the first part of Mama Tit's rant at the boys who had all the signs about Jesus.
To spew their hate, when actually, if they followed by all the teachings of this book that they used to hate, they themselves are sinners. They are wearing cotton poly blend. That is an abomination. Have you ever, did you kill your daughters if they have sex out of wedlock? Do you sleep with your wife if she happens to have that time of the month? You're not even allowed to share the bed with her. Should we stone you for that? Why don't you read your own book and actually follow the teachings to the letter of God and learn to support and love? You need to drop the hate. You are a sad, sad excuse for a human being. Once you learn to drop the hate, you too can find happiness because we will welcome you in open arms if you learn to open your mind. Not today, Satan. Not today.
Oh, not today, Berta.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
That's awesome. Well played. I love that.
Oh, but
I don't think anybody else finds that hospice commercial as funny as we do.
Not
today,
window.
Berta.
Not today, Berta.
Not today.
Oh, I think
I'm gonna shut that
she
window
closed
on
that
that fucking
window.
bird. Fuck
She-
you.
Fuck you. That bird's
Not
gonna
during
die.
I'd have to write too many.
Not
pieces
even,
of
not even
paper.
Lunesta, bitch. You're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Come on.
And have you seen the picture of Mama Tits?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah, I
looks
put-
real
I
fun.
did not.
I put it
Oh,
on
it's
our-
a big. It's a big girl.
Big
she's the
girl
one in
with-
blue.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
mean,
it was
she
that
looks-
cute little thing in the yellow.
No.
She looks
no.
rad.
No.
And they do this
love
thing
it.
apparently there in Seattle called Mimosas with Mama, starring
Oh.
Mama Tits. And I feel like I want to
Done.
go to that.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
Now, what you don't
Seattle's
see,
gay scene is a lot of fun.
If you watch the entire, and it's posted all over, the link to it is on our Facebook page where she does the rant, and there's a couple more minutes in addition to that. But what you don't see is just out of camera shot of this whole thing that somebody videotaped. George Takei is sitting in a convertible
No.
BMW because he's a grand marshal of the parade.
funny.
That is great.
Sitting right there witnessing
Awesome.
all of this.
That
And
And we,
if you're not
Great.
following him on however you can follow
I
him, Twitter,
follow.
Facebook, he puts funny stuff up every
Yeah,
single
he
day.
does.
I have him on my Facebook feed. Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
he is funny.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Funny.
Well played, Mama Tits.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, Mama.
Ryer.
You know, we're all really quite bright people.
In this room, you mean?
Well,
Do I need powder?
I was
What are you-
actually-
what are you
I was
implying?
actually kinda
Shiny?
choking- No, I was kind of choking at that because, like, seriously, not me, but maybe the three of you.
Okay.
So Match.com has come up with the Mensa Match.
Oh.
The Mensa Match.
Not
It's
only can they
launching-
pair you by what Jesus wants.
Well, I don't think that's Match.com.
No, that's Christian Mingle.
Christian
Oh,
Mingle,
my bad.
right?
Well, the Match.com guy is
It's
pretty
like I
goddamn.
got my second chance.
Yeah. Not today, Berta.
Not today. Doesn't that woman look like? And I think that's not an actress. Because doesn't she look like
not an actress.
pulled
None
me
of
from the
those people.
snake pit where I was
All
going to
right.
kill
No, no, no.
myself?
Not an actress.
A man likes me. Thank God, Christian
Jesus.
Mingle.
Thank you, Jesus.
He's blind.
He's
but-
my second chance.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Bless you.
That's another commercial that I can't turn off. I just watch that woman crumble emotionally every
The fact
time.
that there are animals talking in the beginning. Well, she's out walking in the pasture again.
Oh no, that's cow. No, that's what we
That's
signed
Christian
him up for.
Mingle.
No,
Oh, farmersonly.com.
You're talking about farmers.
different.
How many single sites have we all been
there's
on?
a lot.
No. That's
I
the
haven't
one
been on
that's
them.
on
I just-
TNT.
there are.
Yeah.
Fucking hysterical.
Wait,
Like, really? You can try to put them together.
Did we really sign him up, or did we just talk
I
about
thought
it?
you
We just talked
did.
about
Oh, we
it.
did. Oh, okay.
Oh, you never know. I haven't
I was
gotten
gonna
any.
say, we just
I have
talked
not
about
been
it.
propositioned.
No, we
Well, that's not new. That
Aaron
doesn't
and
mean
I
we didn't.
signed-
Bitch. God damn.
Aaron and I signed up her friend Matt for farmers
Well,
only.
good for Matt.
Farmers only.
Good for him. Not today, Berta. Not today.
Not today, Berta.
So my niece is listening, and she said her dog's going apeshit over the bells.
Oh, that's great.
Whoops. sad story.
Continue on, Ryan.
Well, with this Mensa Match, it's the only dating site that lets you join if you're smart enough.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that there could be a whole lot of problems here. They have a quiz that I was hoping Katie would look up.
Oh, I'm
because
into it.
it's for $1, and I will pay $1 to find out how fucking dumb I am. Because it's through July 6th.
Would you like me to tell you?
Mensa and not fuck up. Not today, Berta.
Not today, Berta.
You step back, Berta. Mensa and Match are currently
that window.
administering. Shut the fucking window, Berta.
You gotta go August Osage County. Close
Shut
the
that
fucking window, Berta.
That's right. And let the dogs bark.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Anywho, Mensa and Match are currently administering a practice IQ test for the mentally deficient price of $1.
Don't spit that wine out, whatever you do, Al. Do not.
I want to take it. I want to know how dumb
Can
I am.
we get it?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm watching the Not Today Berta commercial. So sad.
That's on a different site, I think.
So sad.
That's when you want to date the nearly dead.
I know.
I'm
right?
going to find it so we can play that
I
clip
know.
so people know what the fuck we're talking
not
about.
today, Berta.
What's it called? Not Today, Berta?
Yeah,
You
no,
literally
it's,
just Google Not Today Berta and the video comes up.
Oh, I did! I found it!
What's the test I'm looking up here?
You would be looking up Match.com. You could put Mensa and Match. Because they're doing for $1 through July 6th. That's just
I
fucking.
just really hope it keeps the slow people together.
Oh my! Seriously,
Keeps them in the right lane, and I mean the far right lane.
The far right. Totally agree. And I would be on the shoulder. And so they join forces, and it's called Mensa Match. And you can only be matched if you have been vetted by Mensa. And it requires you to test at or above the 98th percentile or of a standardized
I gotta take
intelligence
this test.
Oh, we
So
should
I'm gonna be
all
date-
take.
so we're all gonna be dating Jenna.
Oh my God.
Gina Davis. Gina Davis.
Gina Davis. I have to tell you, nope. 80% of singles rate intelligence, they say, as one of the most important factors.
Oh, they're all lying.
I've got to tell you, you have to be funny. Aaron's already
big
smart,
dick,
but
tone
you have
body.
to be funny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, like,
Actually,
they
that's
want like
not,
big dick or
those are
something.
I'm kidding.
You know, big.
I'm
dick
kidding about the tone
not-
body.
not
Everybody
my
puts
same
personality,
thing.
but that's
Yeah.
not what they mean.
Oh no, funny. You just have to be funny because
Yeah.
you got to be able to entertain.
Oh
me
yeah,
later.
because if I don't look good, I can make you laugh and you'll enjoy me.
totally.
God damn.
Yeah, you go blind.
Or you
I'm
can
gonna
buy-
be
And
And when
funny
you're
style.
laughing, you're squinting, so I just got prettier
Mensa.
You did.
and further away.
How do you feel about Cleveland?
I smiled and squeezed her hand. Not tonight, Berta. Not tonight.
Not tonight, Berta.
We work during the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Not tonight.
Not
Berta.
tonight, Berta.
Not tonight.
Seriously, I just
Anyway.
kicked my feet and giggled through that whole commercial. That just tells you what a sick fuck I am.
No, it's all good. Mom worked hospice.
I'm gonna
so
keep
I
it-
can
I'm gonna
tell
keep
you.
Yes,
that
this
bitch
is
alive.
exciting, you guys. Practice test $1 through July 6th. We got to do it.
Some of the prominent Mensens, which by the way I probably totally mispronounced.
Menses.
Which
Mensa.
Mensens.
Smart bitch.
These smart motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Bob is a professional domino toppler.
I'm sorry.
Jesus. He's also
No, he's not
left-handed. If you know what I mean.
I
Not
gotta
Jesus.
Google that.
Creator Linda Warwick is creator
Dion's
and producer,
sister.
right?
Yeah.
Of the Billboard mega hit children's videos "Baby Mugs" and the Toddler Togs series. And
These real
Abby
things?
Solney, author of Mensa Quiz-A-Day books and calendars.
Oh yeah,
my
she's
God,
on the
yeah.
Mensa because she wrote the book on
She
Mensa.
wrote it.
Professional
And it puts
domino
fuck it-
toppling is a fucking thing.
Yeah, right. Which is not okay.
What is this?
Not okay.
So
is
is
that
this
where
show.
you line them up?
That's actually a very good point, Al.
This is fucking Mensa right
We must
now.
all be in
I don't know.
Mensa.
No, wait. Can we get to this stupid quiz without having to sign
I'm
up?
loving this. How do I get me some smart strange? That's fantastic.
Don't we all ask that really?
Fuck! So it's like that? How do I get me some smart
I want to
strange?
fuck some smart strange tonight.
I like it.
Smart strange.
I want to do
Sign
something
me up.
kinky while learning about geography. Go.
Now,
Hit
geometrically
it.
speaking, I like
Slot
it.
A, flat B. We're building a box.
No, not in IKEA.
Yeah.
No, we're not in IKEA.
Let's make a triangle.
Wow, this domino toppling is actually pretty serious shit.
You might already be dating somebody.
Is that the thing where they line them up and then
Yes.
kind of?
It's literally what it sounds
but
like.
it is like, but they get real cray-cray.
It's all
Well,
zips
they put them
around
on
and
like
does
America's
stuff.
Got Talent, and
Yeah.
it's engineer stuff.
They
I would
can't do
assume.
America's Got Talent can't do domino. It takes too long to set it up. It takes
No,
days.
they did it.
How?
They've done it on there.
How?
I'm telling you, they've had a couple of people.
Well,
I
they-
didn't know they were domino.
That must have been
topplers,
editing,
but
a lot of good editing,
Oh, I'm
because
sure.
that takes days to set
It's
up.
like
some
where
of
they
it.
have them, and you have like you might drop a ball here,
Right,
right?
it's-
And
like how to build a mousetrap.
Yeah.
Oh, did you ever go to outside of the baseball stadium and they used to have that continuous mousetrap? It wasn't really a mousetrap.
yeah.
Where they continuous
Yes.
like follow the ball or
That was
the balls
cool.
around, and it was all the like it made a
There's
lever
a
lift.
name for those.
And it was like some kind of a maze, but it was you could stand outside that thing, drunk, sober, whatever state you were in, for hours, fascinated by how the ball would and it would take a different path each time based on like the weight or the speed it hit the next thing.
It's
and
called a something machine. There's a name.
it was so cool.
I started laughing because you're like, have you ever been? And it made me think of our little trip back from Flagstaff, because we want to do these little stops and see stupid things. And if you see a funny sign, fucking pull over and take the picture, right? Well, on the way up, we saw like Montezuma's Well and Montezuma's Castle and all of this. So we decided, well, we must go.
Yeah.
And Aaron's like, hey, that was a fucking hike. Like, all of a sudden we get there and it's like a third mile of this. And we thought, I took 20 cents with me. It was like a fucking Geico commercial. I'm like, I saved 20 cents by going to Montezuma's Well. Because it's not a well. You don't wish. You just go and it's a big fucking hole of water.
But Montezuma's Castle,
we didn't get to go.
Rad.
We couldn't find it.
Oh.
They were lost in the well.
Well, no, actually, we
got
found
stuck in
this.
the well.
No, we found this little
Makeout point is what they
no,
did.
we found this alien. Wow. We put a picture of it up. There was an alien, and so we had to stop and.
Yes, Katie, they're dominoes, for God's sakes. I've seen the video.
It is cool.
Anyway, I digress.
That
My
is really
bad.
cool.
Sorry,
Especially if you're a little in the bag.
And I have had a couple glasses of wine already today.
Already? Marnie, I feel like we just shit all over your story.
No,
we just shit all over it.
We're gonna shit all over one soon.
Oh.
Yes, I'm already
Yeah.
excited.
So we're good.
I'm a little concerned.
Don't be. It's good.
Coming back in just a couple of moments with Al Perkins and our drinking word of the night. Also, some more headlines. Al's going to do some entertainment. Katie will do sports and other stuff. Plus, we'll have a commercial from Katie, or we'll talk about other things. There's so much to go, so much to happen, so much going on. It's the show on Q Talk America. I really can't talk right now. Join us in the chat room if you will. We'd also like to welcome anybody from the United Arab Emirates who is listening. Hit us up in the chat room. Sorry about your dogs. not connected at all.
No,
We'll be
no.
back right after this.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening, everybody. A little bit after 8 o'clock Phoenix time. This is the show on Q Talk America. I'm Clayton McKee, sitting alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer. Al Perkins is right there. It is the beginning of hour 2. We're in the middle of our headline section, but as we do each and every beginning of hour 2, we must get this out of the way. So let's do it right now. It is our drinking disclaimer with Al Perkins.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Well, as we're learning now by the Mensa site, we're flummoxed.
Is that what we are?
Is that our word?
Flummoxed. I really
Okay.
want it to be not today, Berta.
Well,
Not
it can be
today.
a phrase. I don't
like
give.
that.
But I like flummoxed too, because I think it's going to come up a lot.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
I was flummoxed by your persistence on sleeping with me. I don't know what the hell that means either. Maybe too exasperated.
So in other words, it's hopeful.
yeah.
Optimism is what we're going for.
Yeah, I think I gave up being hopeful about sex a couple years ago, but sure.
No, I think it was right after that nickel burned your back of your leg.
Exactly. I felt a hot thing on my thigh, and I said, no,
I
thank
said,
you.
nay, nay.
I was
Not today,
flummoxed.
Berta.
Not today, Berta.
Not today, Jefferson. Not today. Face of Mr. Jefferson burned out of the back of my thigh.
Okay, so flummoxed is our.
Flummoxed. I'm gonna have to write that down because I'm not gonna remember it.
Flummox. It's a fun word.
Oh, X.
To
Got it.
exasperate.
Got it. Exactly. Well, by the end of this show, we'll all be flummoxed.
I told you it's a good one.
It is.
is.
Well, most burglars like to lay low after, doing their deed of burglary or stealing things. But one man in Kansas City, oh, no, not him. He was arrested after wearing his bounty for his theft in public. A costume that looked like a big bird suit. He walked into a pub right next door to the costume shop where it happened to be wing night. The bizarre incident occurred when the man, whose identity has yet to be released, allegedly shattered a window of a Kansas City costume company with a brick on Thursday night and stole a heavy yellow fur cape and a vintage 1936 feathery hat. Quote, we heard someone breaking into the costume shop next door. Chad Baber, general manager at the pub called The Cashew in downtown Kansas City. The police came in a little bit later but couldn't find the man. About 10 minutes later, the man walked back into the pub with the 2 stolen pieces of costume on. He just sat there and didn't order any drinks, and then some people went up to him and took pictures. The police that were patrolling in the area got calls from the pub patrons claiming there was a man in a chicken suit, according to Sergeant Kerry Thompson.
That's not the first time. We just want to make you aware.
Yeah.
He's here again.
Chicken's back.
Chicken's back. And it's wing night. Yeah. Breaker 19.
Not today, Berta. Not today.
The man was apprehended at the pub, and Thompson said that he appeared to be under the influence of something.
Sure.
Though
Chicken?
the police couldn't confirm what type of drug it was.
Buffalo sauce.
May have been buffalo sauce, right. He kept screaming, I am not resisting arrest! Bark, bark! When police approached
Why
him,
was there not a dramatic reenactment of this crime?
wasn't a 911 call.
God
Yeah.
damn, that's awesome.
It
Crime
could be. We don't
scene
know.
Footage.
We need to make it that.
Baber said that noting that he was later transported to the police car in a stretcher. He was taken to the emergency room for treatment after he was arrested. Thompson said the physicians made sure his blood pressure and everything else was normal. The man has not been charged with the burglary as the investigation is still ongoing. They did find the brick. Baber said that Thursday night is wing night at the pub, but he isn't sure.
He still wants to get a plug in.
Yeah, he was
Even during a crime, it's still
times.
wing night.
It is wing night at the pub, but he isn't sure if the man dressed up for that specific occasion.
Fantastic.
That
We're
is-
still debating whether or not it was a coincidence or a
Maybe.
well-timed costume.
I think that's fantastic. Well,
Flummoxed is what he was at the end of that.
And my favorite thing was we heard what we thought was somebody burgling a costume store, and then we realized that's a costume store. Move on.
and a bok bok
Coincidentally,
here
10
and
minutes later, a
bok
guy in a
bok
chicken
there.
suit walks in.
Is a crime-
Maybe
Is a
connected.
crime really being committed?
I never get to one.
Well, I feel like we've talked about interesting people, but
I
we
never
should
get
talk.
to one.
We should talk about a cunt. Her name is Ann Coulter. Coulter.
Coulter!
Coulter.
It's
My
been a
bad.
busy week for.
For dumbasses, for cunts.
That
really.
was a bad segue, but all right.
So basically,
Yes.
Ann Coulter, as I enjoy calling her,
Yeah.
right-wing troll and pundit.
I
like
love it.
how
Right-wing-
they put that.
Right-wing troll.
Troll
Pundit.
and pundit.
And lawn gnome.
She's blaming soccer's increasing popularity on immigrants and the liberal media.
No, I'm basing soccer on me really enjoying immigrants.
Well, there you go. See?
Holy fuck.
I'm
Did you
telling
vote
you.
today? I voted today for the hottest player. It came out.
Oh, I
Oh,
voted.
I have
yes.
not voted yet.
Yes,
I have not
gotta
voted
vote.
yet.
Okay, continue
vote
on.
You're going to have to work on that.
My bad. Continue on.
She's blaming the growing popularity of soccer in the U.S.
Which is
on-
obviously a horrible thing.
Of course.
Let's blame it on something.
Well, and God damn it, Katie, it's on a pro-soccer liberal media.
Damn it, Katie.
A
And
pro-soccer
America's millions
liberal media.
of immigrants. Yes.
Which is everybody that's not a Native American.
Well, this is all of the nation's moral decay.
Yeah.
Of course
you
it
know.
is. Yes.
I
She's a
mean,
cunt.
She is flummoxed by this.
Hello, and cunt.
I blame her on a lack of abortions that year. Of her
Yeah.
birth.
Well, at least one.
She should have.
Yeah. There's one
mean-
that the hanger missed.
They were out of hangers.
seriously.
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby was
You
sold
can't
out of
do
hangers
it.
that day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they sold out of
Oh
all
my
the metal
God.
hangers.
What if people
They
started
only had
buying
plastic?
hangers from Hobby Lobby for at-home abortions?
I don't want to buy.
I mean, like, I
anything
certainly
from
don't want to
Hobby
encourage
Lobby.
that, but but what if?
What if?
I like it.
I do too.
Maybe we should walk in and get hangers and vacuums.
Ooh, I like
and
it more.
do they have all those things there?
I don't know.
A glue
I don't know.
gun. We'll get a glue gun just cause they sell them.
Glue
and
it
we'll
up.
say it's
Glue that shit up.
Suturing.
Yeah.
And then we'll sense the temperature of the room.
I like it.
And they will
we'll
believe that
wear-
that is something from
we'll wear
Satan.
Clayton's glasses when we walk in there.
I want to see what temperature my nuts
well,
are.
now,
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'm flummoxed.
A delightful 81.4.
Oh, that's a good
I'm
temperature
flummoxed.
if you're dead.
Yeah.
So, well, wait a minute. Let me see.
In the nuts region, you probably.
Probably.
Well, she just thinks soccer sucks because of those fucking immigrants. Among the reasons that she thinks soccer sucks is that individual achievement's not a big factor in soccer.
Oh, I hate this.
There are no
woman
heroes,
so
no
much.
losers, no accountability, and no child's fragile self-esteem is bruised, according to Ann Coulter. Liberal moms like soccer because it's a sport in which athletic talent finds so little expression that girls can play with boys.
I literally hope. I wish that. I hope she commits suicide. I hope that on no one.
Whoa, not
But
today, Berta. Not
no.
today.
I'm gonna
Yes,
write that
today.
down. That-
I
yeah, that-
literally hope
If
this
she can
woman
get it done by 9
commits
p.m. so we can
suicide.
have it on the air, that'd be
It
fun.
would be great. I would televise it. I think let's televise the revolution, and it's called Ann
I
Coulter's
wonder if I actually
suicide.
put a hashtag Ann Coulter suicide on this show. How many hits will we get with this goddamn
Go ahead.
show? I'm
Get
going to
it.
do it.
I actually hope
I
it
think
happens.
you should put
The show's called Not Today, Berta. Hashtag
Ann
Ann Coulter suicide.
Ann Coulter
Parenthetically.
Well, now won't we be bullying?
Sure. Fuck her.
She likes it though.
I'm
She
telling you, she
loves
does.
bullying. Toughens up her skin.
She does. She's a cunt. So let's see. There are a couple other reasons. You can't use your hands in soccer.
The goalie
A
does.
fact that Coulter believes
Oh, that's
goes
because
against
nobody wants to touch her.
a fact that goes against what sets man apart from the lesser beasts. Like, for instance, we have opposable thumbs, she says. The same people trying to push
is that?
soccer
That doesn't
on
mean
Americans, Katie, June, are the ones demanding that we love HBO's girls, Light Rail, Beyonce, and Hillary Clinton. Yes, she did put that all in there.
She
All
threw
of it, all of
Light
it,
Rail?
all of it, all of it.
Like
all of
wait,
it.
like our light rail
Like
that
our light
takes
rail
me
system?
downtown to the
It's
the
basketball game.
Metro.
Girls, Light
Right in the
Rail,
Metro.
Beyonce, and Hillary Clinton. Because that's so liberal.
Good Lord.
Just like soccer.
Her last reason that soccer sucks and it's our nation's moral decay.
Yeah.
Just gonna say it's 2 words here. Well, 3 really.
3 words.
It is. It could be.
Okay.
But it's foreign. Yes, she did. The end.
I hate her.
Wow.
So I just put it on my Facebook page, wishing for hashtag Ann Coulter suicide.
I mean,
see how that
I said,
goes.
villagers, man your torches.
keep in mind, no American whose great grandfather was born here is watching soccer. She says.
I did see that headline. I also saw somebody put a meme on Facebook.
My great grandfather
that
was actually not born here, and
and my
I wasn't watching
grandfather-
soccer.
Yeah, I don't think mine was either.
Oh,
My grandfather is in the Soccer Hall of Fame.
Let me tell you what happened to me today
So-
in regards to soccer. Just and nothing ever.
We
ever,
don't talk about wet dreams, Berta.
ever
Not today, Berta.
in my entire life, and this
Not
will
today. Don't
flummox
this will
me.
even be a surprise to my mother. In my entire life, have I ever given a shit about sports? Right?
Nope.
Never.
Nope.
Okay, so I had lunch today over in Scottsdale at a client's on my way back across town, and they had the World Cup, the America game or the USA game, was playing
Huh?
right there. And
They're
it was
synonymous. You can use them interchangeably.
I understand that, but 0-0 was
But
the
it helps you feel
score.
better.
They were, the time was running down on this. I got in the car, found ESPN Radio, listened to the game all the way from Scottsdale to here.
Right.
Realized they had 5 more minutes of official playtime. Got in the house, got it on the TV, and watched the end of the goddamn game when the referee, because they were in overtime.
Yeah.
They extended the time by
That's
30
right.
minutes.
That's right.
I have never done that on anything. I've never even done that with like Dancing with the Stars or the Tonys or any of that shit. The craziest thing.
Because you know to be home for those things.
Well, yeah.
I'm just
on a
kidding.
DVR.
Even still, but
But it was.
still,
I've never
you.
listened to
Yeah.
anything on radio.
I'm just kidding.
I'm listening to play by play. I
Yeah.
like on the radio, and I'm understanding.
Sure.
I mean, it's the craziest thing. But anyway, but a lot of people are watching. I think it's fantastic, and it sucks that USA didn't win because I was actually hopeful, not just because it's us. I was hopeful that it would win because I wanted to see if there was a surge come through that would make it a little more popular if all of a sudden everybody got on that bandwagon.
Sure, absolutely. Well,
I was hoping
a lot of that happened. So, Ann Coulter, on top of just being a fucking idiot,
Cunt. Just say cunt.
There's
no other. There is no other word.
We're flummoxed by her.
She is. Has the perfect name, Ann Coulter, and she is so fucking stupid because when the Olympics are on. The Summer Olympics has soccer.
Yes.
And
because it's the most popular sport in the world. El Mundo, if I may.
Or Tella, as it were. But, when soccer comes on, when the Americans, as far as going with the Americans, it's a huge deal. When the women's soccer has won, and I go with women's because they win more than men. That's right. Berta. See, Katie, I do follow women's sports. That's all.
Oh, no. Let's not get flummoxed by that again,
just
Berta.
kidding. I'm playing. But truly, you've got to be kidding. And here she comes up with that it's about immigrants.
She's horrible.
She's horrible.
Unrelated to the soccer thing, somebody put a meme on Facebook, which was a picture side by side. There was a book put up many years ago where a bunch of rock stars did drag. I think it was may have been a Versace book. And Iggy Pop is in drag in a picture. And it's Iggy Pop on one side holding a purse, and it's Ann Coulter, and somebody put me before makeup. And I was willing to buy that. I thought that was it.
That's fantastic.
Sarah Palin when she
Hi,
comes
Stephen
on TV,
and Carrie.
I can probably get through like a couple minutes of Sarah Palin before. And it's just, I just don't like her. She's just dumb. It's
she's stupid.
Right.
Anyone mentally unable that gets on the TV, I have to turn it off.
Sure.
I agree.
Ann Coulter,
Rove.
I physically
get mad.
I get angry.
I agree.
And
I do
start
too.
and I don't wish violence on anybody. I make jokes about it. But her, you could,
When she's been on The View,
I'm curious what drawn and quartered
myself.
really mean when I see her.
When she's been on The View and on other things, and I feel myself.
I totally agree.
And I can't turn it off because I
You
want
wanna-
to find a way to get through the TV to kill her.
No, I just want to. When I hear, I listen to her because I got to hear it.
Yeah.
I got to hear it. I like really.
I agree with
What stupidity are you going to spew out now? What complete ignorance?
It's just pure hate.
That's exactly what it is.
By the way, just a toast if we
To
may.
what? To what are we doing?
To Stephen and Carrie. It's their 1-year anniversary today, and they're
happy
listening.
anniversary.
And they're so bored, they're listening to us.
And how beautiful is that?
Well,
also,
I'm flummoxed.
happy Canada Day.
Oh,
It is Canada Day.
Oh, Canada.
Okay, so I just want to give you a little live update from Niagara Falls. Everyone in my family and related to my family is now bitching about fucking Canadians.
Why? Are they immigrating?
Are they immigrating with
Because
soccer?
they come on Canada Day to shop in the States.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So they overrun Niagara Falls. But Niagara Falls is such a dying economy that I'm like, why would you bitch about people actually coming and supporting you and
Because
giving
now
you
they
money?
can build that bridge to get you the fuck out of there.
But I don't live there, so I have. But it's just so funny because fucking Canadians is all you will hear this weekend.
It's just something to bitch about.
If Harrison is watching,
it just looks like
I have a lovely
Manischewitz.
Vino Verde as well.
Oh.
I just wanted to point that out too.
Something about Jerry
Harrison will
Garcia.
have some together.
Or something, Garcia.
Well, cheers. I hope you
Castle.
enjoy that.
What I'm
Nasal
flummoxed
something.
by is the Mary Poppins bag that sits under this table. The one day it pulled out a whole not a container of sangria, but an open pitcher.
Yeah. I remember that.
It was open. It
was
didn't have
not
a
open.
lid.
I had what have you
But
called
how do
over
you
it?
travel with
Very
that?
true.
Carefully.
I guess.
But I had the saran wrap.
It's
and
it's the all-wheel stability drive of that Subaru she drives.
Yeah.
that's right.
And she became a woman in the back of that Subaru.
I don't
That's
wanna
another
talk about
commercial that I cannot watch enough.
Not today, Berta.
Not
I don't
today.
know that
You're
one.
not going to. Oh, it's when she does the whole thing about her daughter growing up.
Yeah.
And all the things, and she's
yes.
like, and she became a
A
woman
woman.
in the back of that Subaru. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
wrong wording.
Nothing about that. Is
maybe we
you
go
wanna know
back
about.
to the writing room and work on that sentence, Berta.
Let's redo that one. Can we get a voiceover pickup here? Thank you. Al, this next story made me think of you. Honest to God, it did. Seattle. Well, we're all Seattle because we had Pride up there. An attempted carjacking in Seattle failed when 3 carjackers found out that they were in a vehicle with a manual transmission and none of them knew how to drive stick.
Wait a minute. What?
Honey.
Nancy Fredrickson told KIRO-TV that she was getting something out of her trunk on Saturday when she turned around to see a gun in her face, and 3 teens demanded her keys and then jumped in her Kia. They tried but failed to get into it and then move the car, and then they got flummoxed and just ran away. The 70-year-old was in tears when she called 911, but later laughed at the inept carjackers. She never imagined that a stick shift would prevent a carjacking, but she's happy that she and her car were both unharmed. And I think of Al because Al is the one who bought the green car CD player, didn't know how to drive a stick shift, had to call his friend to come get in the car and drive it off the lot.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
Which he and I share that because I had to call Seidel when I bought my truck.
That's right, when you bought your truck. And I even like that she's
no
a 70-year-old gal with a new Kia that's just still shifting her way through life.
She's getting there. She's getting there. Go, girl.
I like it. I like it. Yes. What are you laughing at?
I'm just like that Canucks made it into that. We had to help with racial slurs against Canadians. I don't think it's really a slur though. I think Canucks. I think they call themselves Canucks.
Yeah, isn't that what they are?
I thought that was
Canucks.
I don't know. Wouldn't that
Pretty
be
sure
funny
we're
if it was a
getting it
racial
wrong.
slur and we never knew?
Oh, and we just
we're like,
learned
no, they
that?
are Canucks.
But I'm just telling you, that's my.
So we'll just throw it in the same pile
If
with
it came out of somebody in
Chink and
Niagara Falls' mouth, it was a
Gook and
racial
Redskin.
slur.
Are we going to throw it in? Are we not going to get into the Redskin fight now?
I always laugh about that because I
That's
mean,
funny.
my family thinks the whole immigration thing is against Canadians. Like they're like, keep your Mexicans, just get those Canadians out of here.
Because they're right next to. They
And
come
they're
in.
so polite and
They come
clean.
in peace.
I never. I mean, not that
clean.
Mexicans
And they
aren't
come
also
for one
polite.
day and shop.
Yeah. Not that Mexicans are not exactly as well, they're not. No one's as polite as
What
Canadians.
is this? Thanks. You're from a border town. You are Richard and my best hope.
Well, no, because I'm from a border town. I was telling her I would help her with Canadian holidays, like Thanksgiving,
Boxing Day.
That's right.
Boxing
Boxing
Day.
Day.
Columbus Day is called. Our Columbus Day is their Thanksgiving, and they are one of the civilized nations that every month they have a bank holiday. They don't go a month without a 3-day weekend. We're
I didn't know
We're the only
that.
civilized country that does not have a bank holiday
I
every
don't know if
single
Erin's
month.
listening,
We
but
should
she
have
always talks
that.
about going to Canada. We're moving to Canada, she says, and I'm like, we're not moving to Canada.
The taxes
We
are
might move to
extremely
Canada.
high, but
But
it's
everything's covered.
and it's so clean, and the people are stupidly polite. Like
Well,
it's all what's Peter Jennings.
Peter Jennings was there.
It's all Peter Jennings and Celine Dion.
Anne Murray.
Baffled and
yeah.
polite.
And really good at reading.
And he means that in the nicest way, Berta. Baffled and polite.
When
like
I
that.
backpacked across Europe, I was hanging with Canadians, and they gave me a Canadian patch to put on my backpack because they're like, people will be nicer to you. Just wear this. Like I pretended to be
that's
Canadian.
kind of fucking pretentious,
I
don't you
pretended
think?
to be a
No,
Canuck.
they tell you that a lot of times when you travel
Yeah.
to say you're Canadian.
Well, I was like hanging with all Canadians, so I just like threw the
but
patch up on there. Yeah,
and even in
because-
the 80s, they told us that when I was in Europe, they were like, say you're Canadian, you'll get through this a lot better. Oh, I just have
Worked
to
well.
say, Richard, Lama Guy Duh.
Lama Gaida.
I just need you to
Sounds
find
like-
the one part of it that I was mean about, because
Which part? Which
know
part?
out of the hundreds of
It-
things I said, which one was mean?
The one that you
Could you
just
narrow
said,
it down?
Which one?
Canucks?
Baffled and...
Oh, I thought I meant her, not Canadians.
Well, see, it sounded like Canadians. That's why I said,
Oh, no, I like Canadians. I don't like Celine Dion.
She's the greatest singer in the world.
I
Forget the
completely
bell.
agree.
Pound your chest.
I completely agree. It's just too
She's part Kong. She pounds her chest.
Her in that fucking boat that sinks?
Nothing I feel. Is that not a good?
Not today, Berta.
Myself.
I was
Don't
flummoxed
wanna
by the
live.
singer in the song. Oh my god.
So in Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida.
No, I have to redeem myself before you
No,
go to Florida. I
go
gotta go to
ahead,
Canada. The best prides, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. I've been to Pride and all them. Canadian Pride, like they do it up big, and the mayor, the fire department, like people
Well,
show
the mayor's
up.
I love
like
it.
the
They
mayor's
all
smoking
Ford-
crack.
Yeah.
So it's party. Mayor's on crack.
This year maybe a little less, but I have to say, like,
And maybe
people-
that's not all Canadians.
When
Just
I
like
went to the-
Celine Dion is not all
The
Canadians.
Toronto Pride Parade,
Thank
I
God.
felt was too long because I'm like, no one's this proud. And they had the fire department.
Llama guy wants.
Sorry, I'm just
Do not put her on the death watch.
Please
Do
don't.
not. No, because she'll
we will
live forever.
Not, ever. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, I'm just saying like that parade went on. I was like sunburned and dead. There are photos of me aging. It's like a time lapse photography because it seriously was like every public official from Toronto, and then cable companies showed up. In Canada, I think Showtime is called Showplace.
Okay.
Like every cable company had a float. Like it was not like a Mickey Mouse. I have a Mustang. I'm going to be in your parade, local parade. Right. This was like every major corporation was like, we want to be part of Gay Pride because we want you to buy our products. You have money and we're polite
and we're smart
and we don't ever want to piss anybody off.
And our float is clean.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very smart.
Take us to Florida, Marty.
Back to Florida, girl.
It has to do with Florida and weed.
I'm intrigued by half of your story.
Well, let me go on. So there's this woman in Florida who's arrested. And so therefore she has the handcuffs
Just the
on.
one, dear?
Just the one, dear. Arrested.
Today, Berta.
Today. Berta. She got a little flummoxed.
Okay.
And got pulled over. Well, she had been pulled over, because, she had been found in a truck that she had crashed twice while driving the wrong way down the US 1. So basically, a little bit of trouble here, but all misdemeanor-y kind of stuff apparently. She was in handcuffs. As you do.
While she was driving?
You do after she was arrested. Sorry, because that would mean it'd make sense why she was driving wrong way and drunk. But so, needless to say, she gets pulled over. They have her in the handcuffs. She's in the back of the car. They have a video camera on her.
Yeah.
And, despite facing serious consequences for these numerous crimes that she's been caught doing, she's laughing and joking with the arresting officer. She's hammered, and
she's hammered,
right? And then the cop catches her out of the cuffs. She snuck out of the cuffs, worked her way right out of those. Fucking Houdini. Anyway, she laughs and says, "Okay, fine, I'll stay in them." Well, while she was out of them, she made some time by there was a sandwich baggie of weed that they had found on her, and she just ate it.
No,
atta girl.
Wow.
Today, Berta.
Yeah, she misunderstood edibles.
Yes,
the whole bag.
She ate the bag.
Oh,
she ate the sandwich.
Well, she didn't have time to make a cookie or a brownie out of it.
I get that. An easy bake oven.
There wasn't an oven.
No,
right.
no.
She wasn't here in Arizona. She could have done that in the back window. So she had been kind of scratching her nose and trying to do all these different things, but that wasn't what she was doing then. She decided to destroy some evidence. And basically, he grabbed the reefer, what he referred to as the good old marijuana, from the front seat, and just serious case of the munchies, apparently. It looked like a sandwich bag. Maybe she just thought it was a sandwich.
Why not? A snack.
Whole thing was caught on video, so perhaps we can put that on our page, because the video is there of her getting out of the cuffs and eating that.
Did she? They already knew it was there. So did she just want to get real high before she went to jail, or did she want to try to hide it?
I kind of think she was just really in a bad place already.
If I may,
she's driving the wrong way.
I have a question.
Twice.
May I just ask you a question?
Yes.
And
please.
some of you in the room may have some knowledge of this. So if she's already drunk. And then she ingests.
Wait a minute. Allow me to listen closer.
If she ingests all of this, and
it's bad planning.
She already made a bad choice.
That's not what I was asking, but I appreciate your answer.
Yes.
How long is it going to take if you're ingesting the whole?
No, we've already learned about edibles. Yeah. It's 30 to 90 minutes, and then she's going to go through a tunnel of hell.
Right, but I'm saying she ate a whole. How much was the bag? How big was it?
They didn't say how big. Just sandwich bag.
But if you're eating it in a brownie, you're diluting it out a little bit, right? She's eating the whole thing.
She's going to get less out of it because the whole point to the brownie is you cook it in butter and you extract the oils from it. So just eating it, you're not going to get as much from it, or no one would bother to light something up and turn into an engineer to make an apple into a bong. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Everyone says
You're not going to MacGyver your way through it.
Right, like everyone says, I thought all my friends were stupid till I showed them pot with no way to smoke it, and all of a sudden I had 8 civil engineers on my hand and 6 bongs 5 seconds later.
Is this orange work?
Yeah.
Drill, drill, baby, drill.
I want a pineapple.
Yeah.
If
I need a pen cap.
Yeah.
I need a bolt.
A tongue depressor and a piece of cheese.
And it's kind of like I always say, if you ever in a room full of guys,
Cheese is just to eat after you smoke.
Yeah.
Actually.
Totally.
If you're questioning their
munchies.
sexuality, throw a ball in the air. All straight guys will kick everyone out of their way to catch that ball, and the gay guys will be like, "Oh, is she wearing a sweater?"
My nails?
That's awesome. What?
Straight guy nails, gay guy nails.
The minute you can find a pot
Gay?
smoker, the minute you tell
my
them
God,
I have
that's
this,
funny.
but no bowl,
Oh.
and bam, bam, bam.
Craftsman comes
That
out.
is really funny, Clayton. What did you say? I'm sorry.
No, straight guy.
nails?
If you ever wonder about the sexuality of a guy, ask him to look at their nails. And straight guys will always do this. Gay guys will always do this.
And then to take, there's something on
Straight
the
nails, gay
there's
nails.
something on the bottom of your shoe. Straight guys go like this. Gay guys go like that. That's from Murphy Brown in the 80s.
Awesome.
Oh my God, that is funny.
I love that. Well, but she obviously Houdini'd right out of her cuffs, and so basically she's out on bond, and they doubt that any jail could have held her one way or another. But she was going to be charged with a misdemeanor of minor hit and run, DUI, and marijuana possession.
minor.
Those weren't bad enough.
Minor hit and run.
But tampering with the evidence bumped that shit right up to felony level. Today,
We're gonna kick it up a notch, Berta.
Today, Berta.
Berta was flummoxed and she ate a whole bag of marijuana.
Berta was stoned out of
Yeah.
her fucking mind for a
Berta
little while.
was stoned.
Oh.
Yeah, so anyway, we have that video, and I haven't actually watched the video yet, so we'll have to.
We'll have to post it.
People are starting to share my hashtag
Oh!
Ann Coulter suicide.
They're
Oh my God,
sharing
that's
it.
awesome. I love it.
Oh,
Good.
Of all the things to go viral, my hatred of that cunt's what's going to do it.
well,
There's nothing wrong with that.
tag the show. Get the show involved in
Yeah.
that thing. We'll see. Are you wrapped up your Florida story?
You can't wrap it up more than that. Get out of it.
We're gonna go just a little bit
Can't wrap
north.
it up more than that, Berta.
We were in Kansas City earlier. We're gonna go back to the state of Kansas,
Yep.
and I know you'll all appreciate this story because I thought of all of you when I read it. A Kansas woman found herself in a very precarious situation Friday after she set her duplex on fire, all while trying to kill a spider. 5 fire trucks later, the police proved to be less than sympathetic.
How many fire trucks did she set on fire?
No fire
It
trucks.
was a 7-alarm fire.
5 fire trucks later, the police proved to be a little less than sympathetic when the plight of the single lady as she struggled to deal with the 8-legged beast from hell. According to the Hutchinson, Kansas News, 34-year-old Jenny Griffith's MacGyvered form of pest control, which was lighting towels on fire throughout her house, was rewarded with an arrest and aggravated arson charges. She is being held on $7,500 bond. No one, including the other people who occupy the other half of the duplex, were injured, and the fire was extinguished within minutes without causing much structural damage. However, there was a lot of extensive smoke damage to the structure.
Oh my
The
God.
spider is still alive.
Still hanging
The
in
whereabouts
there.
of the spider are unknown at this time.
Does the spider have a
The
lawyer? Because if it does, then that's good shit.
The
right there.
arachnid was not able to be reached.
For comment.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the arachnid. That's good. May I just?
Please.
So a man walks into a bank and poos on the floor several times with a calm but angry look.
That is an unacceptable deposit.
How rude. Exactly.
Yes.
Those are the kind of special deposits
Shitty.
that nobody
It's a
it's
shitty
shitty way to
deposit.
deposit things. Exactly.
Yes.
So, seriously, he defecated out of his shorts several times. This is in the UK. Like, really? He's said to be middle-aged with a well-to-do but calm and angry look on his face.
Okay.
Gareth McCarthy was a customer, and he said, I was just queuing up. There were about a dozen customers there, and this guy walks in. He looked pretty well-to-do, was a middle-aged man in his 40s, wearing shorts and trainers, I'm assuming.
Shoes.
Tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes, right.
And had this bald head. Al, where were you? He
Which-
didn't say
kind of
anything
alibi.
at all, but you can tell from his face he looked kind of angry. It's at Barclays in Andover. It says Andover Hans. So I'm assuming I'm going to pronounce things incorrectly, so I apologize.
Well, it's European.
There you have it.
Sure.
Well played.
Okay.
From
And,
an English-speaking country,
anyway,
but sure.
This Gareth, Gareth McCarthy, who
I
was
love
the
that name.
customer.
I love
Gareth?
that name.
Yeah,
Gareth.
full name. Gareth McCarthy. He wasn't really paying attention until he noticed a real foul smell. Is really what happened. And he looked, and the guy was just calmly walking around the bank, going to all areas that he could and shitting, really. It's quite clear what he was doing. He just had this calm but angry look, they keep saying, and walking around
Calm
leaving
but angry. That's
special
awesome.
deposits on the floor.
Oh my God.
And then
deposits.
But angry.
calmly as he walked in, he walked out. Staff didn't know what on earth had just happened, but the stench was unreal. Now, oddly, Barclays declined to comment. And truly, I looked for more yesterday. Couldn't find anything more about this story at all, and that's it. That's all that they have on there. I was laughing so hard, picturing, because that would be so my luck. That I would be in the bank and I'd be like, Did
someone just take a shit on the floor?
what is that?
I'm sorry, you
And
missed the
are
first
you-
part of this story.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you shitting on the floor? What are you doing?
No, you have to do it. You have to do it Delta Burke style. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Are you shitting on the floor?
How do you
Not
say
today,
it?
Berta. Not today, Berta.
Delta-
How do you say get out of my window seat in Japanese? Still the funniest fucking line ever been uttered on television.
By the way, and there it is. There's poo on the floor.
Oh,
in the
well,
bank. It's
I've
circled.
seen it.
Just
Oh,
letting you know.
you found, I just realized you found That's Me Before Makeup.
Yep.
Yeah, and she's holding the sign, which I'm sure somebody else probably.
Oh, you know, the joy of photoshopping.
There's your, there.
I am so Katie June right now.
You are.
I am multimediaing so many different things.
By the way,
People
Katie,
are shitting on the floor. I'm
It's amazing.
reading.
I found something that says old dude stops interview mid-flow and takes a shit like a boss.
Like a
A
boss.
homeless
found
guy.
another story?
No, this is a homeless guy who took a shit next to a tree while he was being interviewed.
Takes
For
a
a
shit like a
newspaper.
boss.
Asked for
I
a
like it.
newspaper and was like,
like a
excuse me.
boss.
I like
Took a
it.
shit.
Like a boss.
A lot. I like it.
And our final.
And there's too much, and I have to say, I have to bitch again. There's so much to keep up with between the internet, people posting,
I know.
the chat
God.
room's so busy.
I know, that's what she's always doing.
Popularity
Yeah.
is hard.
It
You gotta,
is.
you gotta be up on
It
it.
is.
Our
Yeah.
final story in our headline section before we get to Al and all of his entertainment stuff, because there's so many things going on with
No,
that.
because one of these bitches in the chat room timed me the other day and said, Alfie, you kept it down to 18 minutes.
Fuck them.
Well,
So
that's what I'm
I'll
saying.
do it again. I'll do it
Go
again.
on.
A 50-year-old Ogden, Utah man is accused of punching another man and hitting him with his car in a dispute over pew space in Utah.
Is that in the bank?
No, pew space. No, not different pew.
Sorry.
He has been ordered to spend 30 days in jail. The Salt Lake Tribune reports that Wayne Dodge was sentenced Wednesday after pleading guilty to one misdemeanor assault charge. He was also ordered to complete an anger management class and pay a fine, which just pissed him off even more. Weber County deputies say the fight happened last June, a year ago, at Mormon Meeting House during a crowded service that included a baby blessing and a missionary farewell. Authorities say Dodge sat in a section that another family had saved in hopes of getting a good view of the baby blessing. Dodge is accused of punching the man after the service and striking him with his vehicle in the parking lot. I swear to God, people are stupid. What are you laughing about now?
There's too much going on. I am so sensory overloaded right now.
Really?
The wine is good. Your story is interesting. We're making apples out of bongs or bongs out of apples.
We have an anniversary.
We're translating
we have
from the
Canadians
French.
and Americans. We have New Zealand.
Things are happening.
We have everything. We have a lot.
You have a lot to do.
We're very busy.
Well, that's good to know.
It's good we don't take calls.
We don't. Well, I'm about ready to fix that, I think.
I mean, God.
Oh, it was Richard.
Well, we're going to have to go to a 9th hour.
Llama guy, duh.
We'll fix Oh my God.
We make all of his nicknames horrible.
Sadly, I think it's I'm a guy, but I called it llama.
Oh, I'm a
It's
guy.
I'm a guy.
Yes, it is.
I called
I'm
it
a
llama
guy.
guy.
Oh, that is too funny, but it's Meow Cal that we thought.
I know.
I know, poor Richard.
I am a guy.
Yeah.
Meow,
I am a guy.
Meow
Duh.
Cal and llama guy
That
are the
is
same.
so funny. I thought it said llama guy.
that's
That's
and
what I
llama
thought
girl.
it said.
Where
I
have
am
you
so,
been?
I'm so far behind.
Yes, you
Facebook
really
is
are.
exploding. I'm creating
much is happening.
hashtags.
Seconds from now, Al's coming back with entertainment right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Hi, I'm Katie from 1 in 10, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to serving LGBTQ youth and young adults here in the Valley. Please join us at the Land of Oz in Scottsdale for a fabulous benefit concert on Saturday, July 12th at 7:30 p.m. A $20 suggested donation will benefit 1 in 10. For more information, call 480 483-4666.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Turns out there's gay members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Grammy Museum has a special 5th floor exhibit that I'll be going to very soon. So many people died this week. I'm amazed we're all still here. Shia LaBeouf is arrested right after Vilkeman. The View changes everything. We have a great finale, another death, and a show that I stopped recommending a couple years ago because no one was watching it will not get canceled.
I heard that this week in entertainment.
Even I gave up on it because nobody was watching it. I really thought my entertainment section was longer than that. All right, so we'll just start with Celebrity Death Watch. Everybody on the board alive and well, including Celine Dion.
Yeah.
Well, there you
No
have
one
it.
dies. But, I mean, and we missed
No
one.
one died.
No one died on that fucking board. But I have to tell you, the one that we missed a couple weeks ago, and I'm not sure if it was the week, if we...
What was that?
Welcome.
It turns out Vino Verde has a little pop to it.
Just took that off. And there you have it.
Turns out that was the whole thing. I feel like there's a whole... Ruby Dee died a couple of weeks ago. Oscar nominee, and everyone thought she would win for the movie with hot black guy, 5-time Oscar nominee, Denzel Washington, 2-time winner. The Gangster, American Gangster, where everyone thought she would win, and she didn't. But she was the MC of the march of Martin Luther King's March on Washington.
Okay.
Her and her husband, Ossie Davis, were actually the MCs of the event. So in any time that there's not someone giving a memorable speech, there's her and her husband.
I remember that.
So it's very sad. She died a couple weeks ago, and we neglected to mention it. And then in one of the greatest soul singers of our era, Bobby Womack has died. If you didn't know him, then you probably know him from the big hit by Mariah Carey, "We Belong Together," with Bobby Womack on the radio singing, "If you think you're lonely now, wait a minute, change the station, got to turn the dial."
Wait, Mariah Carey's song?
Mariah Carey sings about Bobby Womack in "We Belong Together."
Because that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, she goes, and Bobby Womack's on the radio singing, "If you think you're lonely
Wait
now,
a minute.
This
is one of those things where I've said the wrong words since about 2006, whenever that song came out. Bobby Womack on the radio.
Singing "If You Think You're Lonely Now," which is his biggest hit.
Singing "If You Think You're Lonely Now." I know the whole song.
So what did you think it was?
I gotta think about it, but listen
Big
to
O
me
Jed
on the
left the-
radio. Maybe listen to me on the radio, singing "If You Think You're Lonely Now, wait a minute." I thought she was saying "Listen to me on the radio."
It's Bobby Womack.
Big O Jed left the light on. Is that what you're?
Yes. Oh,
I'm not talking about the
your
linen.
I'm not talking about your linen, you dirty fucking whore.
It's so amazing when you think
We're
you know a
gonna
song for
douche.
literally years, and I just am finding out right now I had the words wrong.
Well,
and
congratulations.
he has a
happens.
lot of hits. He wrote a lot of songs for people. He had periods in and out of being famous. And then in the early 80s, which is where I ran into him on the station that always cracks me up from Buffalo called WBLK. Guess what kind of music they played on WBLK? Black people music.
Oh.
Yeah, because there was no political correctness that year.
BLK?
But yeah,
WBLK.
I like
Buffalo's
that.
soul music.
Soul music.
So anyways, in like
Stood for
81...
It stood for We Black.
a friend got me a white girl, strangely enough, got me
Tina
into it
Marie.
because she liked it very much. So she got me listening to it, and so late at night I would listen on my the radio near my bed. I would listen to WBLK. It's where I found Yaz Situation. But there was this song that always stayed with me called "If You Think You're Lonely Now, Just Wait Until Tonight." And I just loved it, and I found it was years later that I was in a record store being annoying, like I always used to be. Okay, here's the lyrics to the song, and I would walk in front of every employee, what is this song? And then finally somebody says, "It's called Bobby Womack. If you think you're lonely now, go over there, buy it, shut the fuck up about it."
That's TFU.
So he did. So very, very sad. And he wrote so many hits for so many people. He's one of those like Jerry Goffin from last week that you don't think you know him until you go back and look at all he's written, and just
everything
wonderful.
he touched. Right.
And then Mesak Taylor, I hope I'm pronouncing his first name correctly. I actually never Mesak Taylor.
Mesak.
Yeah.
From Designing Women.
Oh yeah.
Very sad, but the shocking thing, and I don't know if anybody else was as shocked.
Was his age?
His age.
Yeah, I was surprised at that.
Black don't crack.
Oh,
How old was he?
I was
But-
flummoxed by his age.
But then again, when did
he was 67.
when did Designing Women
I
go
was
off the air?
19 when I came out, and I thought maybe he was 25, talking about his unfortunate incarceration, which again will be our drinking phrase next week, because unfortunate incarceration was my favorite phrase for about 5 years. Because he would always say it after my unfortunate incarceration.
On the show?
On the show.
Did he say that?
Because he was a wrongly accused ex-convict that Julia Sugarbaker was giving a chance and letting him, because he couldn't get a job anywhere because he was an ex-con.
That was like a show that I watched, but on the fringe. Like I was too young to kind of get it. But I totally
that would totally be something that would be like an on-demand, or if you can even do that. I don't know.
Because I liked it.
That show was so
I didn't really
on point
get it.
in the Reagan era, Bush era of like all the horrors that was going on. That show was on point about women's rights, gay rights,
all of that.
transgendered
all of you
people.
would enjoy.
You have no idea
Your
how
personality
topical
would.
that show was.
It ran from September of '86 to May of '93.
But stop after the season. When Delta Burke leaves, just stop.
Yeah, it does become
Who
like...
came on after her?
It turned into...
It was Annie
It was
Potts.
Julia Duffy.
Annie Potts.
Annie Potts was always on it, but Julia Duffy from...
the blonde
Newhart.
woman.
Yep.
She took over, and she was kind of funny, because it's her from Newhart, and she was hysterical on Newhart.
Yeah.
And then it was Judith Ivy Long, who also very funny, but then the show just lost direction.
Are you talking the kind of short hair?
Yeah.
From SNL.
Yeah.
No. That she did too. She
there
took
too.
over too. She took over for Jean Smart.
Oh.
But the sassy rich girl.
What was she on when we were younger?
I know her from Brighton Beach Memoirs and
who was the older one with the shorter hair that was on for years before? He has that great voice and was very funny.
Alice Ghostley.
Alice Ghostley, yeah, she's fantastic.
The year that she wore the tree skirt. And she's like, well, I saw this under the tree and I just had to wear it. And it barely covers her, so like half her ass is showing.
She was.
And they took on
That
actually
voice.
the whole speech.
that voice
The
is
whole
so good.
speech that Mama Tits just gave is there's an episode because Bernice had Alzheimer's. So
Yeah.
Bernice was their mom's friend who had Alzheimer's. And that's why they always kept her around, because they were caring for her because she was she had early stage dementia, Alzheimer's. And they take her to a religious bigot's house for dinner, and the religious bigot is going on against gays. And Alice Ghostley is like all of a sudden comes to and remembers that she was raised by a preacher and knows more of the Bible than the religious bigot, and throws out all the rest of Deuteronomy, which that guy is quoting about cross blends and all that stuff. So if you ever get to see that episode it's about religious people hating gays. I mean, that show was so on point. In the 80s, like way before it was.
And Jan
dramatic.
Hooks.
Jan Hooks was the
Jan
one
Hooks
that
was
She was the one I remember. So I remember
she took
some
over
of
for
the
Jean
older
Smart.
cast.
Jean Smart left with Delta Burke. And
Julia Duffy is funny.
she is funny, and I can't remember her character's name on Newhart, but she was one of my personal heroes.
She's good.
Very funny.
And then famed writer, director, he has a couple hits, a couple big hits, a couple misses. Paul Mazursky, but always interesting movies, even if you don't like them. And as a child, I thought, as a 10-year-old, I thought Unmarried Woman spoke to me in some way. I don't know why. A 10-year-old gay boy in Niagara Falls thought a story about a recently divorced, overprivileged white woman in New York somehow spoke to me, but I went back and watched it a couple months ago, and I was horrified by how bad the movie was and how much I just wanted to kick her.
But
and
you
get
loved
her to,
it.
Tell her to shut up and get a job.
At age 10.
Oh, at age 10, she was my role model, and I was an unmarried woman. Like, as far as anyone was concerned, I walked around throwing my wedding ring at people to tell them I was an unmarried woman.
That's amazing. Do you guys all remember your favorite movies at age 10? Or like around there?
Oh,
E.T.?
So Mannequin must have been yours.
Mine's
No.
an easy year, though. Mine's one of the greatest years in, like, movie history.
I don't know if it was age 10, but it was around there. I was like way too young to really love it, but it was Dead Poet Society. I think I might have said that before. It was
One
like
of the
my
best movies ever in the whole
favorite
world.
movie.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was like go to college and be a
Captain,
poet.
My Captain.
I was like 10.
Oh, yeah. And that movie, cheesy as
Carpe
it is,
diem.
still works.
And
Still
also,
I watched that recently again, too, to see if it was
it's so
awful.
good.
And
Because of
what's
that
his
new
name?
commercial.
Ethan Hawke, who it just needs a shower. Any other time was
Oh.
adorable.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, I'm like, please take a bath.
Don't he needs to take a bath.
I'm flummoxed
He's
by your lack of
disgusting.
bathing.
Every time I see him.
Today.
Today, Berta. Fucking today.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
Berta.
my other
Actually,
favorite.
I gotta stop saying the drinking word because I'm fucked up drunk.
I know, but I can say that was Dead Poet Society.
One of my
will always
all-time-
be
all-time-
one of my
all-time
Tawanda.
faves.
And I'll yeah. But I'll help Harrison with
so
movies when we were
good.
10. We have
Yeah.
Star Wars, Annie Hall, The Goodbye Girl, The Turning Point, Julia. I mean, 77 is one of the greatest years for movies ever.
And I'm like, give me 2 more years of the movies.
So just
my other favorite. So Dead Poet Society, and then on the other spectrum, Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh my god!
Another one that
I've
loved.
never seen it.
Just
super different.
I thought
Fabulous.
you were totally going through Mesac Taylor with this whole thing. I didn't realize you were just
Nope.
randomly picking
Just
movies.
totally random.
Because she might be drunk too.
Was he in Mannequin? When
He
you
played
said
the
that was your
He
favorite
did.
at 10, I
Wasn't
was
he the flamboyant gay guy?
No, he was not.
Yeah,
Was
he
it-
was Hollywood in Mannequin.
In Mannequin, yes.
And Mannequin too. And he's the
Yeah,
only
he
one that
was
comes back for the sequel.
So much bigger.
No,
Yeah.
just thinking about movies when I was 10.
No, they were just
Okay,
smaller.
well, there's that. I don't
They
know.
weren't wearing the
Andrew-
shoulder pads.
Andrew McCarthy. That's right.
I was trying to find the speech that she gives about the religious, and all I did find was this.
Black man,
Black man, where did you come
where
from?
have you gone to? Black man, where did you go?
Bernice, what the hell are you singing about?
Oh, Anthony, I don't know. It just comes to me. I can't explain it. It's a gift.
That is by far and away, again, another one of the funniest moments on network television ever is when Bernice out of nowhere, black man.
Oh, Designing Women isn't on Netflix.
It's not.
It's
it has
somewhere,
to be
though.
somewhere.
Boo.
And
Amazon,
they used to on Monday afternoons when I worked at the bar, Lifetime Television
Yeah.
for Women and
Right.
Gay Men
It did.
Right.
used to play back-to-back Gay Men and the Golden Girls. Gay
Yeah.
Men. What did I call it?
call it
Designing
Gay
Women.
By the way, that's today, Berta.
That's today. I love it.
Yes. Oh, I love
We
it.
have now
Okay.
changed the name of the show to
So what
Gay
I'm
Men.
talking, so the point to that was that Paul
Not
was
designing women, just gay men.
Just Gay
how
Men.
we got to 10 years old movies when I was 10 was Paul Mazursky dying.
Okay,
Because
'cause I heard that.
Because I waited up all night that night at the Oscars because I loved that movie so much as a young 10 or 11-year-old that I wanted Jill Clayburgh to win that Oscar for that movie so badly. And that's part of the start of my...
You were so into the Oscars at age 10.
I
It's
just
amazing.
needed Jill Clayburgh because I seriously
For
would throw...
which one? Talk to me.
An
Start
unmarried
again.
woman. That's Paul Mazursky. He
Oh,
died.
that's right. The
writer,
Paul Mazursky
director,
thing just threw me. Okay, I'm sorry.
He did Scenes from a Mile. It's the only time that Woody Allen has appeared in since the 70s in a movie that wasn't written or directed by him.
Oh, okay.
It was Paul Mazursky. It's Bette Midler and Woody Allen in an absolutely terrible movie. But he did if you look him up, he did quite a few movies, and if they're not great, they're at least interesting.
Okay.
So it was just a weird, like, another one
TV
died.
for women and gay men.
I
Yeah,
never
that's
thought
fun.
of this. Alice Ghostly is the female version of Paul Lynn.
Oh,
And
totally.
they're both from Bewitched.
Oh my God, yes!
But I never thought about the fact that it's that same character. That
And the
and that
same
boy,
voice.
and they all-
Listen.
black man,
Yeah,
black
black
man.
That is funny.
That's so
true.
fun. It's because somebody put it's a small clip from a movie, Rabbit Test. Where,
Oh my God! Joan Rivers' directorial debut,
Yeah.
starring Billy Crystal as the first pregnant man.
Yeah.
From
God
1979.
damn it, Al, you're killing me. I gotta, so Clayton, we can do this one kind of together with the 10-year thing. I had to look. So the Muppet movie, that makes total sense.
Oh, I love
10
the Muppet
years.
movie.
Oh my God, makes total sense. Alien,
Never saw it.
when we were
Oh my God! You have 1979. I'm so jealous.
Yes. That's why when you were saying that, I'm like, give us 2 years. Hold on, because I know that they were different.
That's the greatest Academy Award
Apocalypse
now. That's the
Kramer
greatest
versus
ac-
Kramer.
Oh.
Have you ever seen Kramer? Oh, I loved Kramer.
Oh, I'm
I
so
think-
jealous. You have the better year than I do.
Cried.
Wait, I
Cried.
have a good.
Escape
Wait, I have a
from
good year.
Alcatraz, the Amityville Horror. Ha! Caligula. That's awesome.
Helen
The Champ,
Mirren.
The Champ.
Champ. John
Have you ever
Voight.
seen that? Champ, don't die, Champ. Oh
Ricky-
my God.
Ricky
Bawled
Schroeder.
like a little fucking bitch during that.
I remember that scene because I saw it on TV. But
Champ, don't die, Champ. Oh my
Okay,
God,
wait.
I'm so good at that right now.
Oh, and the
I'm so good
1979
at that.
Academy Awards, they're given out in 1980,
Yeah.
but like from 1979,
Yeah.
graded one of the greatest years. I don't think that's Ordinary People.
Nope, it's not. It's not. Meatballs, though. Oh my God, I love
No, but what's
that
it?
movie.
I know. Well, what's the Academy Award win? What's 1979's?
Oh,
when was Caddyshack?
81 or
80,
82?
yeah, it was later.
Okay. No, it can't be. It can't be because we moved. I know where I lived when Caddyshack
I
came out. It
think
was
79
79.
is Coal Miner's Daughter.
Caddyshack is 79.
If I'm not
The Deer Hunter.
right, the Deer. Yep.
Deer Hunter.
This is a fun game, the Academy Awards.
Caddyshack is 1980.
1980. Okay.
So that,
I
those
thought,
would have
'cause I knew
been
I
the
lived.
Oscars in 81. They give them out the next year.
Because I knew Meatballs was before, like as far as the Scream movie before that.
All right, now I'm drunk and you brought it up, so it's your fault. Just remember this is all of yours because
Okay.
now
I
you've
didn't
got
do
me.
anything.
You're
Wait,
blamed.
I want you to guess my year by my 10-year year.
Yeah,
Now, you might
89.
know when I was born, but okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
1990.
Goodfellas,
Oh, you're 1991.
Hunt for Red October. Yeah, you're right.
1990.
But the
1990.
Oscars were given out in 91.
Edward Scissorhands, Home Alone, Pretty Woman, Ghost, Total
1990.
Recall. I got some good ones
You do.
too.
You have some
for the
good ones.
90s.
Because you always have to do the year the movie came out and the year the Oscars were awarded.
Okay, do you know who won Best Picture in 1990?
Silence of the
think-
Lambs or Dances with Wolves.
No, because that
Dances with
Tatanka.
Wolves.
Right.
Tatanka.
Right, but you have to
You're so
because
good.
you have to get the year it came out and the year they were awarded. So I have to give you both answers because the one will be the year before.
I mean, because God damn it, Katie June, it's about being specific.
Right.
I think Al's going to be in Mensa.
You have the
Totally.
Deer Hunter,
I think you're
Coming
gonna
Home,
pass the
Heaven
test.
Can Wait, Midnight Express, the
Coming
greatest
Home.
movie
That was a great
about
movie.
men, sex, and prison that's ever been made.
What?
Okay.
An unmarried woman in 1979. Guess what happened in 1979?
What happened?
Did Donna Summer's Last Dance win an Oscar? Yes, it did!
Weird.
Anyways, see, now this was all your fault. We digressed because of all of you. So, Richard, it's not my fault. So we're back. We're back. Let me find my real page where I get all my stuff from.
What's Flight of Dragon?
Okay, so he's dead. Community, the show that I got
Who's
sick of
dead?
recommending to Paul Mazursky. We're done with the dead people.
A lot of them, though.
But Eli Wallach, I didn't bring up Eli Wallach.
Did he die?
Yes, he died this week. Not only is he didn't. Lee Strasberg founded the Actors Studio and the whole thing of method acting, and
Right.
taught everyone how to act. But after Lee Strasberg stopped being part of it or moved on or whatever Lee Strasberg did, Eli Wallach and his lovely, lovely wife, and now I have to go back to IMDb because I always forget her
I'm
name.
here.
I am too.
Eli Wallach, her name was Ann something, and I always forget her
Ann
name.
Jackson?
Ann Jackson. They kept the method acting going, the method acting studio, the new school for acting, all of that in New York was Eli Wallach and his lovely wife, Ann Jackson. They were married for a century and a half, many children. He is everyone's acting inspiration.
Yeah.
It was a big loss. He played every possible nationality but his own, which was Jewish. He enjoyed the Manischewitz.
Can I, may I just?
What do you?
I'm not good at math.
Okay.
150 years. What do you want to know?
That.
Okay.
They were married for 150
It's a
years.
sesquicentennial. That's
God,
that's
is
the
that
real
what it's
name
called?
for 150.
Sesquicentennial. What is Jill
Do
Clay?
you worry about my head?
No, I do a lot.
Is Jill Clayburgh someone's mother?
Jill
Is,
Clayburgh is, and she's passed.
Lily Rabe, who is
Yeah, we
I
talked
talked
about
Lily
that.
Rabe. She's on American
By the way, that
Horror
was-
Story,
Yes.
and they look so much alike.
Yeah.
And there's a rumor that she is Al
Reincarnated.
Pacino's daughter because Al Pacino and Jill Clayburgh were hooked up at the time, and then her big thing was at the Shakespeare in the Park, the summer festival. She had to play Al Pacino's lover in a Shakespeare in the Park play, and everyone had the ick factor of like, there's a chance that's your dad.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. That changes everything.
I like Jill Clayburgh.
She's
I
wonderful.
like remember her from
wonderful.
some things.
Different.
There was a show towards the end of her career, Dirty Sexy Money, which I actually
And
really
she played
liked.
a judge, and I think judging Amy for a long. She played a judge on a couple
Yeah.
shows. Just one of the greatest American actresses, and unfortunately, she made one shitty movie that, as a 10-year-old,
What's that?
I thought was the greatest thing ever. An unmarried woman.
Unmarried woman.
Oh.
I've only said
Again,
like 3
and
words.
still-
I'm not
Besides
listening.
Not Today, Bird, I've only ever said one thing. Okay, so Eli Wallach, and that's a big loss. Shia LaBeouf,
Lost his mind. Hasn't he?
Lost his mind. But the best part is
Going so weird for
was
him.
that everyone on stage at Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club at Studio 54 was tweeting because they thought it was somehow part of the show and I'm not sure how they're doing the staging now, but they said it's very similar to how they did it in the late 90s, early aughts, as we call it. What they did was to let you know when you were transitioning from the Kit Kat Club to scenes in the boarding house where they all live in Cabaret, your table light would come on. You sit at tables. You don't sit in like traditional theater seats. You're at tables, and if you're in the theater, then your table light comes on, and that lets you know that you're now in the performance space of Cabaret. And when your table light goes down, that tells you now we're in the boarding house.
Oh my
and
God,
now,
that is so cool.
it was really cool. So people thought that because he's famous and he seemed to be interacting with the people on stage, that it was somehow part of this weird production where you keep switching venues, and then the police came and escorted him out in handcuffs. And the people on stage who'd been so annoyed for the entire show were like, well, that fucktard's gone.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And then Bette Midler texted today, like, halfway through Willkommen, they said, Auf Wiedersehen to Frau, to Herr LaBouffe. Bette Midler's another one. She is really funny on Facebook. She has been really funny this week.
Oh, that's great.
I just thought that was great. The View, which I've been bitching about all year.
I was waiting for this.
Turns out Barbara Walters is a listener and possibly Bill Getty.
Sure. You should put hashtag bye-bye.
Gone. Sherry Shepherd, who negotiated her deal, and there was a big thing made when she came on the show because she wanted $1 million a year. She was going through a horrible divorce. She was fighting for custody. She needed money. She wanted $1 million a year to be on that show. They kept saying no, and finally they relented because one of the things that everyone involved with The View wanted was they wanted to have the first morning show that had 2 black women. They just thought it was, and it is a big deal that there is a morning show that has the opinions of 2 women, but not all white women.
And forgive me, who was she before The View? Who in the hell is she?
She was from the Far From Perfect show.
30,
she was on
30 Rock
30
was
Rock's
after.
after. She was on the show that I never liked. Everyone Loves Raymond. She was on Everyone Loves Raymond.
Oh, that's right. She was.
No,
she was a cop on there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
But she always
A little bit, kind of.
she was a very frequent guest host.
Okay.
And they really wanted to be the show that had, like, because it's supposed to be about diverse women's
Right,
views.
right.
And they thought they would be the first to do it. And so they ended up paying her the money, and that's why they always had to do the corporate sponsors in between and do little commercials during the show. One was to pay for Rosie O'Donnell, and then it was to pay for her.
Okay.
Well, and she's fine. And one of the things that I read this week was like she represents the low knowledge voter. Not what do they call that? Not low knowledge, but
Low efficacy, but it's not that.
low information. The low information voter. She's the person that thinks that maybe the Earth is flat. I don't know. Like I've never looked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they're like, she's who you want as part of the discussion because you need to dumb it down for people like her. But she got smarter and she would always ask questions. She was a very good host. Jenny McCarthy was like the low bar, and even I, after 17 years, even I was like, this is too stupid for any human.
I knew you were.
So, and they said after a year of the social experiment, they need to go back to a show about women's opinions on current events. It needs to be about pick 4 women of different ages, different views. Here's your political topics. Let's hear what you as women have to say about the political climate in the world. Be you conservative, liberal, black, white, brown, whatever color you know what I mean? Like it just needs to be. And Jenny McCarthy was just like,
yeah, what did she do
just
or not do?
A fucking moron on there. Like
she was just stupid.
She was a way to bring because
Like
everyone
Stoops.
learned in 2013 a lesson that I don't know why people don't learn. When you're talking about a presidential election, everything's hot, everything's current, it's very sexy. The presidential election, very sexy.
Right,
Everyone's
yeah.
engaged. A year later, the election's over. There's no hot stories. The midterm, there's no hot stories. It's very hard to get engaged. And The View had to learn that lesson, so they panicked in 2013 of like, where are all our viewers? Where you don't have the election going for you anymore.
Right.
You don't have the presidential candidate on here. You don't have senatorial candidates. Like you were on a hot run. It's a low point. Ride it out till it gets interesting again. And they just panicked and they went to the lowest common denominator.
Jenny
They
McCarthy.
copied that dumbass show
Seriously.
from CBS that is really for the like mouth breathers of the world. Whatever the fuck they're doing. And there's some
The
talented,
Talk?
funny people on there. But that show is stupid.
I love Julie Chen.
So, yeah, but go to the other side of that fucking table, and whoever that black woman is, she needs to just shut the fuck up.
But Tyler, Aiden, what's her name? With the comedian, the really funny comedian that's on there that I'm always horrified that she's on there. She was from Friends.
I
can't think of her
She
name.
was also in Major Crimes. The really pretty black gal.
Aisha Taylor.
Aisha
Taylor.
Uh-huh.
I just want to pull her from that show and get her a better job.
I know. Well, because
Yeah.
seriously, the one
she's
on
not
the left,
bad.
the one on the
No, she's good, but yeah.
It's too much for me.
We're coming back on the other side of this little quick crossover with the rest of Al's entertainment.
And
I'm
they
sure
interrupted me. It would be 18 minutes.
That's all right. We don't fucking care.
They turned it into a game.
We own the show. I don't know if you realize that.
I know,
We
but
own it.
Richard's very judgy in Canada.
That's because those Canadians
Damn judgy Canucks.
were not as smooth as Peter Jennings was. We're terribly sorry about that.
Oh, I love Peter Jennings.
We got another hour to go. Katie's going to come up with some sports and other stuff. More headlines. We'll do thoughtful
anniversary,
vulgarity.
Stephen and Carrie. Good
So many
night.
things to do.
Oh, happy anniversary.
We'll see you in just a second right here at Q Talk America.
You've been listening to the show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Good evening once again. It's the beginning of what we call Hour 3. You call it, God, is it over yet?
Not by a long shot, Berta. Not
today,
by a long
Berta.
shot.
Try to close that fucking window, Berta.
I am Clayton McKee, sitting alongside Katie June, Marnie Ryer, Al Perkins. They round out our cast each and every week. By the way, program note, next Tuesday is the 8th of July. We will have no show that night. We will be off on that Tuesday. Some of us out of town, some of us recuperating from what is sure to be a glorious 4th of July weekend right here.
Canada Day weekend. Jesus, that's a lot of syllables.
That's coming too. So lots going on with that. So next Tuesday night we will not be live. So we will be coming back to you the next couple of weeks after that. So program note, we'll put it on the Facebook too to remind you in case you do forgot. Right now we're in the middle of entertainment section with Al Perkins. We just wrapped up something about somebody who died or something we liked. And now we're going to move on to something else.
All right. Well, now I have to.
I don't know.
Now it's Richard's fucking fault. So we're back to Llama Guy. Duh.
Llama Guy.
Atta girl, Berta.
Atta girl, Berta. Stick with it, Berta. You'll make it. So now,
goddamn.
Richard lists as one of his favorite movies is Shakespeare in Love. And Richard, I am so in your corner. I watch this movie at least once a month. Anytime I can't sleep, we break out the Shakespeare in Love.
Shakespeare.
I gotta Google it.
If you've seen Scary Movie 2, you know why I call it Shakespeare in Love. It is.
What if you've never seen it? What might you say to someone?
Shakespeare in Love.
Oh. I just figured he'd be like, what?
No.
He's talking like a Mr. Higgins.
Honestly, I don't.
Mr. Ted the Ball.
Mr. Ted the Ball and
Mr. Ted the
Mrs.
Ball.
Higgins.
I just know that my
Shakespeare.
life is better than yours because I've seen Shakespeare in Love. It's just one of the most beautiful movies ever made. And anytime they bring up that the years the Oscar got it wrong, this is always number 2 because everyone thinks it was robbed. I want to tell you, I won a trip to Acapulco and Vegas that year. Why? Because I said the best picture of the year is fucking Shakespeare in Love. Okay. So my ass was in Acapulco at a beach.
Yep.
Stop it,
And
really?
in Las Vegas at a free fucking hotel. So suck my dick, people.
Whoa!
Because
Suck it, Berta.
I love
Suck
it.
it, Berta. Suck it today,
Suck it,
Berta.
Berta. Suck it today. Bye, Stephen and Carrie. Happy anniversary.
Bye.
Bye,
guys.
So now we go to the list. And okay, so Community, a show that I just felt like I was a worn out record trying to get people to watch the show. No one would watch it. Couldn't get anybody to enjoy it with me. Very funny. It's what introduced me to the whole term of meta and what meta TV is and being self-aware of that you're on a TV show. It's genius and funny, except for the season that they fired the guy that created it and wrote it, and for a year they tried to do it without him, and that was a little weird, but they brought him back.
They had to.
And so they have this campaign called 6 Seasons in a Movie, and NBC canceled it, so people just kept up this push after season 5, and everybody kept up this push about 6 seasons in a movie. Yahoo has decided they're going to do original programming like Netflix.
Okay. Oh.
And they decided their flagship series is going to be Community because they cannot argue with this fan base. And if you've watched Community, then you just know. This show is just fucking funny.
Wait, so it was canceled?
It was canceled by NBC, and then just like Arrested Development got canceled and got picked up by Netflix, and Cougar Town got moved to TBS. Sometimes when there's a show that's just good and it has the right fan base, they're trying to, like, people will sell them out and be like, okay, this has enough of a fan base to make it worth Yahoo's money.
That's cool that Yahoo's doing that.
So Yahoo picked it up, and so now, like, the big thing from Community fans is that, all right, we got our 6th season, now we'll get the movie. But so it's a new fanboy hashtag. It's 6 seasons in a movie of every show.
Oh,
which means that, like, Lost is hopefully going to get a movie. We all live in hope. And now my last thing for entertainment was, I haven't seen all the shows from Sunday again because I've been sleeping again, so I can't keep up with everything. Nurse Jackie finale, and for any of you who've left Nurse Jackie or thought they had one
series or season,
It was the season finale. Did I say series finale?
No, you didn't specify. I just was asking.
The season finale, because it got picked up before it even aired. Showtime announced there was going to be a season 7 or 8 or whatever the next season was, and I thought, well, that's odd. Clearly, they watched the season that ended on Sunday and were like, "Oh fuck yeah, we're in."
Kelly said it. I haven't watched the last one yet. I think I'm still like 1 or 2 behind, but Kelly said it's like amazing.
I've watched it twice. It's the only thing I've watched. Is every time before I go to sleep, I've watched that. The last, what is it, Tuesday? I've watched it, twice, 3 times. I think I watched it again before I came here. It's so. And Merritt Weaver, Nurse Zoe, Emmy winner
Love
from last
her
year,
so much.
who just walked on stage and said, "I gotta go,
yeah.
Thanks," and walked off. The fact that because of the timing of it, the Emmy nominations come out next Thursday morning.
Oh, are you excited?
Yes, but the cutoff date is May 31st, so the Emmys for Nurse Jackie will be for last season. Like if they get nominated, it won't be for what's playing now. But you have to think that the Emmy voters just watched last night's episode as they were like turning in their ballots and were like, "Let's just vote for her." Nurse Zoe, who went from like innocent orientee nurse who was so excited by everything to applying for nurse practitioner and just lays down the law through the entire episode. It was so good. Merritt Weaver. It was so, honestly, I mean, everyone's always looking for shows to binge watch. I think they're at 67 episodes, which is, just a day and a half of your life. It really, and they never cross a line, as far as I'm concerned, of like, okay, that's too far hospital-wise. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not. There's no like ER happening.
Actually, Grey's Anatomy is the one that just offends me. That's just like, okay,
all of that. That's sad, because I didn't watch ER, but I love Grey's Anatomy.
But ER has this moments of like, oh my God, he's diaphoretic and tachycardic. He's sweaty with a fast pulse. Did he just run?
My mom does the same thing when she's watching
Latin,
stuff. She's like, "Come on."
Did he just run somewhere? Like, settle down.
Not today.
Not today, Berta. Not today, Berta. Settle down. You're diaphoretic and tachycardic. You're gonna be fine.
You went for a run.
That's called a cup of coffee.
Would you like a bottle of water and a mint?
You just watched a porn movie with coffee.
That's awesome.
So that's our entertainment.
Oh, lovely. 908.
May I just?
Oh, you got something?
Well, I just wanted to throw something out to keep our eye
I read the
on.
little teaser for Harrison.
Please do.
Which Harrison planned to visit the Grammy Museum. We have 2 things.
2 things.
The Grammy Museum is doing an entire floor of the Grammy Museum dedicated to one Miss Donna Summer.
A whole floor?
Uh-huh.
How many floors are in this place?
There's 5. So one of the
Whole
floors
floor?
is
Wow.
dedicated to her. Things she wrote lyrics on, costumes from the stage, all kinds of memorabilia. Very excited. Turns out it's in LA.
Wow.
I'm on board.
And then I love this. Makes me laugh. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is claiming it has 5 members. There's got to be like 100 because I thought these 5 were going to be obscure.
Okay. No, not 5 members. He didn't define it correctly. 5
inductees.
5 outwardly gay members.
Oh, right. Okay. So people that are
not just 5 members.
But I just want to tell you that when Elton John is one of them,
duh,
kind of obvious.
Yeah, right. Duh, right.
When the other one is David Geffen, who is more famous for sucking dicks than anything else he ever did.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of David Geffen. I think he ruins everything.
Maybe.
But
apparently, dick sucking.
I did not know that Ma Rainey was gay.
Okay, so crickets.
Mother of the Blues.
Crickets, thank you.
Oh, okay, Ma Rainey. Again,
Nope,
she's
no
like
idea.
Bobby Womack. Just
okay,
Google her,
just
listen to a couple songs.
Okay.
And then while you're there, because I'm recommending things, anything Etta James.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
But you really don't know. Go back and listen.
Okay.
It's a catalog. Like, it's not just At Last.
No, I get that.
Anything.
Clayton, she's played a bunch of stuff before.
But she's really good.
Okay.
Dusty Springfield, who I did not know was gay. Dusty in Memphis. If for some reason you are not the proud possessor of the album Dusty in Memphis, again,
I believe actually that I have that.
$9.99. Pay the money.
But it's an album, truly. So
no, but go on
it.
iTunes.
Yeah.
Download Dusty in Memphis.
Okay.
You will be the richer for it. I cannot stress it enough. And I am flummoxed that you've lived your life without Dusty in Memphis.
Well, I appreciate your flummox.
And Clive Davis, who's given us a lot of good, a lot of bad, but he is the star of Arista Records, the producer, the president, the man-in-chief. He gives us Barry Manilow, or he claims he discovered Barry Manilow, which is kind of like discovering America, like still here.
It's still there.
But he also brought us absolutely everyone from Lisa Stansfield to George Michael to, I mean, he's Clive Davis is
And Whitney
Houston.
Still dead.
And for those of you if you don't know, I mean, he
Still
was the
dead.
one. He was the one who was having the pre-Grammy party the night that Whitney Houston died in the.
And he was always her biggest champion. But anything if Clive Davis touches it, you should probably go. You might end up at Whitney Houston during the bad years. No. You might end up at Whitney Houston during the good years, or you could just end up at Barry Manilow's greatest hits.
Done.
He's
still good.
He's a good guy.
Yep.
Still alive. And then he said he sucked a dick once. He's pretty much straight, but I guess he said he had an affair.
They're making a Whitney Houston movie.
Yep.
Does she die in it? Is this going to be a lot like
Bobby
the,
Christina not invited to participate, and she's pissed.
Oh, that's too bad.
Taken to Twitter.
I'm just
taken to Twitter.
Hashtag pissed.
Hashtag,
Mama's dead.
Hashtag Ann Coulter suicide.
So I don't get the hashtag thing. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to just like it, if I have
like
to put
it,
hashtag
share it,
something.
slap
Put it on your page.
Yeah.
Literally hashtag.
I just type.
You just type in hashtag Ann Coulter suicide.
Yeah.
No parentheses. One
Yeah.
long word. You're good.
And
It'll
that's
highlight
my
it on
post?
Facebook. Yeah, and
That's my
post it, and
post?
you're done.
Okay.
And it's
Got
and it's Ann Coulter's
Suicide.
So
Got
there's
it.
two
So it
S's.
looks like
will
one big
copy
run-on
it
sentence that
exactly.
should offend you horribly, and you should want to like
Right,
reorganize
right.
it.
Nothing.
All right. That's wrapped up for you for entertainment. Got it.
But
We're
she's got
coming.
entertainment, right?
Oh, you do. My
Well,
bad.
that's okay. I just very quickly as far as I don't want him on the death den.
Oh, well, you have to update
So we have
this?
a very sick person alert. Very sick
I
person
don't know
alert.
if it's a very sick person alert. I don't want him on the death den, but I feel that maybe
It needs mentioning, sure.
it's gonna make me sick to say it out loud.
What?
Keep in mind, Maya Angelou, and the other
Nelson
guy.
Mandela that you killed.
Well, then hang on.
She killed him, ladies
Bill
and gentlemen.
Murray. Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
I'm feeling
The death.
Bill
I gotta
Murray.
Google him.
You have to Google him?
I need to Google what's going on with his health.
all right.
No,
I'm
I
like,
know who
really
Bill Murray
Bill
is.
Murray
Scrooged and
he keeps showing up at really
And he
random.
looks like death.
He looks horrible, and he keeps showing up at things just seriously very randomly.
Oh.
And there was an article. It's becoming clear that Bill Murray's not doing well.
okay.
And
And it's literally called "It's becoming
becoming
clear
clear.
that Bill Murray's not
no,
doing
but
well."
I mean, like all
Hashtag
of
duh.
these people, just random kind of people,
Okay.
have written about him just showing up. Like he walked and he heard a party in somebody's house, so he walked up and he knocked on the door. It was a small thing. It got a little loud. Some noise complaints anyway. There was a knock at the door, and Bill Murray was there, and he came in and but it wasn't like everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool." Anyway, he comes in and he just kind of sat there and wandered around, and it wasn't even like a big deal. He just kept drinking and wandering around inside the house. Like it wasn't that he did anything. He also showed up at a wedding, bachelor party. My bad. And gave a speech and how fun, here's the guy from Ghostbusters and from Meatball
Wow.
and whatever, and he walks in and Caddyshack, and he makes just been weird.
Well, it's in a Cinderella year.
It's a little Cinderella. That's right. Well,
to
gotta
the
kill
left
it,
there.
though.
Sure.
Gotta get those goes first. Gotta get them. But I mean,
1980.
And you know what's
I can't
funny
find
is
anything. I'm just Googling Bill
the
Murray
movie for
acting
me
weird,
with
and
Bill
it's all of
Murray
his movies.
will
Bill
always,
Murray
always,
acting
always be
weird.
Stripes.
I know. That's a fact, Jack.
Yes.
Ooh.
True,
Oh God,
true.
I love that. Also on my DVR.
Well played.
Thanks.
I agree.
Marty,
I
we're so
finally got a
excited.
well played from Al.
I am no
So
longer
excited.
flummoxed by your movie.
So wait,
choice.
so are we changing something?
I don't know. Do we add? I'm offering.
I'm
it
happy
up.
I'm happy to change out Mary Taylor Moore, but we're only doing that to keep her alive.
I know, but see, if they're on there, they stay alive. So
Well, we seem to think that.
There's a
I'll
part
give
of
you
me-
Abe Vigoda because I always think he's dead.
I think
I
he really.
feel
I
like
think he's
he
stuffed. I think he's part
is
of that
dead.
whole, where they did the.
But earlier, Pat Robertson. It surprises me every week when I read it.
I know it.
It
I know
literally catches me off guard.
Anyway, I just throw it out there. I don't know. I would not be.
Perhaps for the listeners,
I'd be sad.
or the viewers, because there's not a camera
That's
on that
right,
thing.
that's right.
Let's review one more time.
Allow the
top
review,
10.
please.
So we'll go. So what's up, Mary Taylor Moore?
Yep.
Okay.
My personal role model and hero, and she has to stay alive because
I'm feeling the death vibes, Richard. Yep, I am.
Jerry Lewis, Kenny
Yeah.
Rogers, famous roaster.
Again, still feel
Phil
Jerry
and
Lewis.
Betty Windsor,
Right,
casual
right, right.
racist.
I think they're
Paris
gonna
or
live
Perez Hilton, depending on where you put the emphasis on your syllable.
Passes.
Nancy Reagan or Babs Bush, because I can't tell them apart. One's a skinny titless wonder, and the other one is Babs Bush.
Well, Nancy's pretty much written to the wheelchair now.
That's true.
Yeah, she can't.
Abe Vigoda, who
man.
may or may not already be dead, but due to a lack of Googling, we don't know.
Again, I think it's
Sally
about that
Struthers,
taxidermy.
who everywhere she goes, the people get hungrier.
That totally, because she's eating them all.
Oh, Kirk Cameron is stuck in there.
Billy Graham, religious bigot.
But Kirk Cameron's in there next to Billy Graham, so either way, we
Right,
win.
right.
Oh, yeah. Billy Graham, Kirk Cameron, same fucking person.
It's a religious bigot. Is what
Religious
we're looking
bigot.
at.
All we're looking for is a dead religious bigot
That's
here.
a religious
Got
bigot
it.
right there. Well, wait,
And
we
this
already
is-
had that.
Oh,
Because
No,
of,
Fred Phelps. No,
Fred Phelps.
but this was after.
Oh, okay.
We didn't qualify it as a league of people.
I see. All right.
Zaza Gabor
dead.
or whatever body part
Parts-
falls off next.
Parts unknown.
Like, is it just her pinky
Buddy
still
Early
alive?
or Pat Robertson.
Which is a
Because again, synonyms.
That's true. That's
The
true.
danger of
The
synonyms.
danger of
I don't,
homonyms.
again, I submit that I would not be shocked, would be completely saddened, but would not be shocked if the Bill Murray took a spill.
Well, if Maysock, how do you say his name?
Misak Taylor.
If he's 60-fucking-7,
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
He did look really
Right?
great. And
I
that's
mean,
very
for
young.
real.
67.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I thought he was like 50-ish.
Right, I thought he was much younger as well.
Like 50.
Oh.
Like I thought we were the
How
same
did he
age.
die? We
Really bad
Cancer.
cancer, and I guess he was very ill for a while.
a while.
All right, time for
So
Katie.
awful.
We're going to get to that right after this.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
Hi, I'm Katie from 1 in 10, a not-for-profit organization dedicated to serving LGBTQ youth and young adults here in the Valley. Please join us at the Land of Oz in Scottsdale for a fabulous benefit concert on Saturday, July 12th at 7:30 p.m. A $20 suggested donation will benefit 1 in 10. For more information, call 480-483-4666.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
This week in sports
And other
stuff. The Suns trying to bring on LeBron James, maybe Carmelo Anthony, kind of exciting stuff. Indiana and Kentucky has some big news. Obama signs an executive order. U.S. is out of the World Cup. No. Notorious Ruth Bader Ginsburg and more. I love it.
Well played.
Notorious.
Well
Yeah.
played,
Okay,
KJ.
you know.
I like
So, just like a quick little thing about the Phoenix Suns, they're trying to bring LeBron James
I heard
to
this.
the Valley. He is a free agent and trying to bring him, Kevin Love, and Eric Bledsoe together on a big trade deal. Don't really. There's more news about it. I don't really know it. I heard it on the news as I was coming in here and just thought LeBron James is just kind. I mean, he's like a big arrogant, big famous player. But it would be great for the Suns since we can't win games. So
So we can at least get people to show up to watch the game.
It would get people.
A lot of people
to
have been
show
into
up.
the Suns. A lot of people got into the Suns last year because it was such a young team, and
Right.
they did so incredibly well.
Yeah.
I will just point out I was not one of them.
Well.
But
My brother just says that the owner runs the team into the game. That he's just
Right.
really horrible.
yeah, and I don't disagree with that from what I've seen. The idea of getting a LeBron James, like getting a big name, is a great attraction, but. And I always go back to what I know with the idea of
Bringing in
with
elderly
Minnesota.
players, right.
Well,
Right.
God knows.
I thought of
in
that immediately with
Minnesota-
you because Minnesota.
God.
Is it broke down in 60?
No.
Bring him in as a quarterback.
Oh my God, he'll be great. Wait, what's
the
going
first
on?
thing
John
I thought
Elway.
of.
John Elway. No.
Yeah, he has no knees.
No. Exactly.
I think he's an amputee.
it doesn't matter.
And he has PTSD and
it
a
doesn't
hemorrhoid.
matter.
Do we
He's a
have a
great
uniform that
arm.
fits him? Bring him in.
Right.
Well, and
Get
it's
some shoulder
just
pads.
I mean, it's like the same thing with when the Merc brought on Brittany Griner, it just like filled the stands. Not that the Suns need help doing that, but it just got people excited
I don't
about the
know.
team.
Yeah.
So they
One
know that
player
it's a
to do
long.
something,
They know
though.
it's a long shot,
Yeah.
but he's a free agent, so they're kind of being hopeful. There's so many names being tossed out. He
wants a dry heat. Miami's a little humid.
That's true.
But I want to tell
You
you
went
like,
from the cold.
Lots of trades
Right.
could happen. Lots of like players. Everything would have to the stars would
Now,
have to align.
you were mentioning him, Carmelo Anthony. And who was the other one? Eric Bledsoe?
Somebody's name is Carmelo.
Carmelo.
That would be like Rolo,
Right,
Carmelo,
right.
something. I don't know. Is
So-
that right? I don't know.
it's a very
The
it's a
Wrong
very-
jingle.
This
popular
particular
name.
article is talking about how the Suns
Do
could
you
get
wanna-
LeBron, Kevin Love, and Eric Bledsoe together. But then there are other ways that they could get Carmelo and LeBron James. So there's like all these kind of big
Variables. Yeah.
where they could bring in a couple of big players.
Weren't you talking about LeBron James being like the biggest player though that everybody wanted?
Yeah, because didn't he come from where did he
Cincinnati.
start out? Cincinnati, and then when
Yeah.
he left into the
Cleveland.
big thing to
Cleveland,
Hot
Ohio.
Cleveland. Even
Cavaliers.
but even they
Sorry.
talked about it on Hot
Yeah.
Cleveland.
That when
Yeah.
he did that big
Cleveland.
announcement that he was going
Yeah.
into Miami and everyone
King
was pissed,
James.
and there was like he did like that primetime special announcement that he's just like an arrogant a-hole, but he wins basketball. So
And he's a
and he
very
couldn't in
good
Cleveland,
player.
and that was his problem was
Yeah.
he couldn't win the championship in Cleveland. So he went to Miami and then immediately won 2. They were
Two,
trying
I
to
believe.
three-peat.
So
but it,
what do
right.
you what do you think the reason for that? I mean, what was the reason that he couldn't win in Cleveland, but he
the
He did-
players around him.
yeah,
just
the
his
player he
team?
didn't have he didn't
Yeah.
have the whole support group that he needed,
And he just
it
knew
turns
that.
out that the Miami owner was willing to like not just bring him in, but bring in everybody
that he wanted or that
Yeah.
would work well
to
with
make
him.
sure that it wasn't just one big star on a shitty team. Kurt
Right.
Warner.
Kurt
It
Warner,
was-
you're right. It's if you bring Kobe Bryant, for instance, just a name that was really good
Right.
at his time. Michael Jordan.
Right.
Bring Michael Jordan here now.
But you need
And
the whole
if-
team that was with Michael
Right,
Jordan. Michael Jordan
right.
didn't win that alone. He was amazing, but like
He's
Scottie
gonna-
Pippen,
Yes.
it was a whole team of players.
That's right.
Basketball's a lot of fun. I don't tune into like the second half.
I don't either until
'Cause
it's
you
like
can know-
the
Oh, and
playoffs.
I think it's so much fun.
But
yeah,
if you tune in
super
the
fun to
second half,
watch.
it's either over or it's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, you're
But
totally
you
right.
Oh, when you said second half, I thought you meant of the season. 'Cause
season.
That's just too fucking long.
Oh, both.
But like,
It is
I get
because
there.
really
but second
long.
half
Real
of the
long.
season and then
Baseball,
second
same
half
thing.
of the game because
Baseball's just so boring.
either they're ahead by 20 or
Right.
they're going back and
Right.
forth 1 point to 1 point and you get a really exciting hour out of it. You can't watch the whole fucking game though.
No,
Yeah.
but if you get 20,
Even as
you're
cute
20
as they
points,
are, they're not soccer players,
You have
people.
people that
They're not immigrants.
Well, they're immigrants. You have 20 points in a basketball game, and truly, it can turn around that fast. A couple 3-pointers
No.
and people not. So I don't know. The idea of LeBron James coming here. Who's the biggest, hottest football player right now? Just throwing something totally
Russell
separate.
Wilson.
Okay, you say because I said the word
You said
hottest. I know. So
gonna agree with you.
Russell Wilson as a quarterback.
Did I lie?
Right.
Have I misled
Did
you?
you stutter?
Am I flummoxed?
Nope.
Well, we could throw
No.
Sanchez in there too.
Right, but not good. What I'm pointing out.
Oh,
No.
Two division championships
No.
in 2
By
years.
the way,
Fuck you.
no.
Fuck you.
Again? Really?
Wow.
Really? With the like, where were they going?
To the Super Bowl.
No.
They beat the come on. They beat New England and the Colts.
God, I'm
did
going
not-
to try to be a football fan this year.
The whole idea is that you
It's
go
such a good
ahead
waste
and
of a
bring-
Sunday afternoon.
Oh, it's
Oh, please
and,
enjoy my nuts.
and a Monday
They're
night.
81 lovely degrees.
And now a Thursday. But if you eat L's nuts and enjoy, Berta.
They're a lovely room temperature.
But the whole idea is if you were
Not
to
too
bring
warm.
one player,
Right.
one player is not gonna mean
Well, and I
shit.
feel like that's what the Suns have done so
Big time.
frequently.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
they just because it's always
gotta
like
fill
the
the
one
roster.
big
Steve
name.
Nash.
Yeah, it's like, and then they
Count
just
on
put
him.
all of
And
their
what's-
and then it's Steve Nash's
hopes on
fault
his
when
back.
they don't
and the
play or
Cardinals,
win.
everything hangs on Larry Fitzgerald.
Absolutely, exactly.
Everything
yes.
he's amazing,
Yes.
but if the rest of the team sucks ass,
Do a
And
lot
then
of teams
everybody
do
says
that, or is
Larry
it just
Fitzgerald
Phoenix?
sucks. Oh no, Minnesota loves that, and unless
the
you're
Bills
the
can't
New
even
England
find one
Patriots,
good player.
Well, but they're still trying.
Yeah.
Unless you're like the Patriots, the Cowboys, the 49ers,
The Yankees in baseball who
the
pay
Yankees
Is
everybody.
it just the
Baseball, they're-
owners, like how much they want to spend?
It's
Or like what is it?
all
It's all
the money.
salaries
It's
and
all
what you
the
want to
money.
spend. Yeah.
I mean,
well,
Green Bay
And because
is
everything
huge
has
on
a little
that.
everything has a little bit of politics to it.
Sure.
So it's a fun waste of your Sunday afternoons, and then the guys on sports centers all have head injuries, so it's kind of like watching the slow and unable
while
to
they're-
drive
and they're
talk.
like, "Hey, what game do we just watch?"
They really do.
Slow and unable to drive, just chit chat. Okay, so that's happening in basketball in the NBA.
Sorry.
So Indiana, whoop whoop,
It's a state.
and
Heard of it?
and
they're-
Kentucky.
oh, that's Illinois.
Letterman's
the
from there.
judges
Yeah.
struck down bans on gay marriage.
And Kentucky's was today.
Kentucky was today. Indiana was. I feel like it was even.
It was
2 weeks ago.
I don't think it was that long. I think it was last week. And Indiana's was like sassy. I think Indiana's ruling was sassy.
Because they ordered by the state of Indiana was ordered by a court to recognize lesbian marriage, which included a dying partner. So there was like the case that was in front of them was really timely, poignant. Right now, my partner's dying. Recognize our marriage before she dies. And I don't think that she has died yet. But she's terminally ill. Yeah. I know. Whoops. Maybe if we put her on the death den, she'll live forever. They can be happily married forever.
What a good use of the death den.
I know.
Keeping old lesbians alive since 2014.
Not today, Batman. Not today.
That's awesome.
Keeping old lesbians alive.
This couple was actually legally married in Massachusetts last year. They filed a lawsuit forcing Indiana to recognize their marriage. And they were actually granted an emergency recognition last month, just to protect them both because this partner is terminally ill. So again, it doesn't say here, kind of what was happening with the women, but it's just very exciting. And I sat through a really interesting training on Saturday by HRC National. It was HRC Arizona's annual planning meeting, and we were just talking about. How marriage is coming in all these different states. And Sheila Clefcorn, who's one of the HRC leaders here in the Valley, was saying, oh my God, she's like, I more than anyone understand that when someone like Kentucky gets marriage or, they get the ban has been struck down, people flood her Facebook and her inbox and why is this happening? Why isn't Arizona getting this? And ultimately, she just said it is a process. It didn't just happen in Kentucky today. And what she really was saying, and it was to rally up, and get a lot of support from our HRC volunteers, but people are working on this actively every state all the time. Yep. Right. And it's just so interesting that
is it 40? It's not all 50 states have challenges in the courts, but
there's only one state that doesn't, and I think it's
49.
Like one of the Dakotas.
Oh, I thought everyone did.
No, it wasn't. It
Was
wasn't
it further
50.
South Dakota?
Further.
No, I think it's.
I can't remember which, but the number had just reached, and because they give the number of where I know
it's in Nebraska.
It's Nebraska.
Nebraska says no gays.
And
sorry, Nebraska.
One of the amazing things is that some of these southern states, we were looking at the amount that's spent per capita on gay issues, right? Mm-hmm. So gay rights advocacy, whether that is HIV and AIDS advocacy or support or fundraising or gay marriage or family. And they said the national average was pretty high. In Arizona, it's like $12 per person, in the state is spent on gay rights advocacy. And in some of these states, like Mississippi, one of the states that's already gotten the ban has already been struck down.
Overturned last week, I think.
That's what I thought.
2 weeks ago.
They spend like 18 cents. It's by all national outside spenders. It's by all groups, but 18, or maybe it's 30. But it was very, very low. 30 cents per person is spent in a state like that to advocate for the LGBT community. I mean, it's just mind-boggling.
Well, that's a state with no money,
right?
And they just had the big runoff election for the Republican primary between fucktard, Tea Party.
Oh, right.
Formal racist, not even casual racist.
Right. No.
Who likes to go to KKK rallies, and casual racist Ted Cochran.
That'll weigh me out, Cal. Get on that for us, please.
And just terrifying when you think that this is like all these two people are saying who's going to want the government to intervene less in their lives. And you're talking about the poorest state in the country that is the most dependent on federal money. They have the most people on welfare, food stamps, Medicaid. They rely the most on FEMA. There is not one government program that Mississippi is not the number one state for. And all the people that they're voting for is trying to reduce the federal government. And this is the most dependent. This is the state where, like, when Hurricane Sandy hit New York, Mississippi, who takes the money every single time a hurricane comes through, Mississippi Senator Ted Cochran stood up and said, I think there's too much pork in this bill. Right. We need to think about where this money's going. And everybody in New York was like, fuck you.
To you.
All the Democratic senators, we don't hesitate when you ask for money for your poor, drowning fucking state.
That's right.
So
So
is it just they're just so uneducated? They're just
they vote against. They are the typical people that vote against their interests. They just
they don't realize that when they're accepting, when they go cash their foods, when they go pay for their groceries with food stamps, they don't get that that's a government program. They just want the government out of my business.
It's a disconnect, and it also it's a complete disconnect.
It's so bizarre. One of the interesting things that I learned is that there are no HRC chapters in some of these really super southern states. There is an HRC chapter in New Orleans, not surprising, and that they take that there are meetings and such in neighboring Mississippi, and the some of the big shots kind of in the Louisiana HRC, they go host meetings in Mississippi. This blows my mind. In secret. They are secret meetings. Like it is still like that. And they were saying that for us, when we host a big HRC gala, for example, we're like promoting it to everybody in the whole state. Come and join. And when we host a federal club meeting, it's
one of those times being in a red state, like we're not that bad.
It's really nuts that they are in secret. They promote them word of mouth to the right people. They're hosted at the right places. Secretively, they cancel them if need be. Like, that's insane to me.
That really is fucked up.
That in this, that right now, what's happening in the South, they are hosting secret, like HRC meetings.
It really is. It's terrifying.
For fear of retribution from whoever.
And I just want to like kind of guide you into what I'm assuming is your next story here. So I was at.
Is it about crafts?
Yeah, it is. Is your next story about crafts?
Yeah.
Okay. So I was at a lunch cocktail party-ish thing.
Oh!
You have so many issues with glassware in this.
Girl down.
She is sippy cup only. I nominate Katie June to be sippy cup only.
I have a sippy cup. Yeah.
Okay. Everything goes in the sippy cup.
That's awesome.
I'll bring more. So I was
down, gluten-free down.
Gluten-free. We got a celiac disease sufferer down.
Frau Gluten.
Frau Gluten down.
Frau Gluten free.
Chronic fatigue girl just fell over.
Oh my God, I was just so tired.
She was so tired she couldn't hold her glass up anymore.
There's probably wheat in this. That's why.
That's why.
Sure.
Oh
and she was out like a light.
We have to go to hour 6 because I have something to say about that. Okay, so I was out with a friend. I don't want to mention any names in case anyone's offended by this conversation. In case anybody doesn't want to be part of it. But I was out for drinks on Saturday afternoon with some friends, and somebody walked in coming from her particular rallying cry. And we were talking about, like, the train to gay marriage is kind of left the station. It's on its way. It kind of can mind its own business. The judges are on our side. No one's ruling against it. Everyone's using Anton Scalia's.
God, he is disgusting.
Right. I can't wait for his suicide either.
Oh, my God. He's disgusting.
I want him.
I hope it happens together.
Right,
oh my
exactly.
God,
like a suicide, like a murder
suicide.
suicide.
Like a hail bop. They all get Nikes and running pants and get on.
Drink Kool-Aid.
Drink Kool-Aid.
I want her vagina filled
Bunk
with razors
beds.
and him to fuck her. How's that?
And then she gets pregnant and has to keep it.
Through the razors.
Done.
Anyways, that's the good things I'm doing. So anyways.
And then decorate the wedding from a Hobby Lobby.
So I said to my friend, and the reason I didn't want to mention her name, exactly. Build an IUD out of it. And I don't want to mention her name because we were both saying that marriage equality probably was not the thing that we would have supported first. So I said to her, I'm like, well, what's the next rallying cry? Like, what's the next thing that we have to fight together? And this was Saturday afternoon, like 4-ish.
Yeah.
5-ish. She's like, just equal rights.
Yep.
And then Hobby Lobby comes down. But just to have it come from someone who's she's not gay. It's a straight ally who's just so on our team and just saying, like, I've never been behind, kind of like me, like, never been behind the gay marriage fight. I don't want to get married. I don't want straight people to get married. I'm not for marriage. But sure, if this is what we're fighting for, I'm with you. I'm going on board.
Yeah.
But to have her say, like, what's the next thing? She's like, just basic human rights for everybody.
Yep.
Why is this an issue? And then to have your next story.
Well, I will actually, because something else that kind of goes with that is Obama did he sign yet? Because this is, as of yesterday, set to sign an executive order protecting transgender federal employees, which was really exciting.
I saw the news clip
We've
about
been
it.
talking about ENDA a lot, and the House... The Senate has already voted to in support of ENDA, and the House won't do it. They won't even do it.
They won't even vote.
They just won't even do it. And they needed still, I think, 12 members of the House to
even bring it up for a vote.
Yeah.
Not to vote, but to bring it up for the vote.
They were 12 short of people that even thought it that would even approach the idea of talking about it. So real fucking crazy, and then you talk about all the conservatives who are he's overusing his executive orders to give people fair protection in the workplace. That's an overreach.
Right. But isn't that something that I could look up that I'm not going to? That you could say, here's what, and I'm saying any of them, Bush. Clinton,
right, if you look it up, I don't think even with his recent push, I think
he has some of the least.
He still has very, very low numbers of executive orders.
So why is everybody freaking out?
Because he's black.
And that's another thing to Google. Yeah,
stop with him being black. That was super racist.
No, that's why. That's literally
I'm kidding.
No,
I'm
kidding.
flummoxed by the.
Shut it, Berta. No,
no, but Bill Maher calls it black tracking.
Yeah. Oh,
when you used to be for
and
something,
this is why we're gonna sue him.
Yeah, when you used to be for something, but now you're against it because Obama's for it. It's called black tracking.
That's amazing.
I'm not okay.
Again, because you don't watch the
By
show.
the way, I told you that they're on.
I have been watching John Oliver though.
Genius,
really
as
smart.
Have I. And I've told you, we have 10 of them.
And I have to agree with you as a woman who's now sleeping. It's hard to keep up with all the shit I try to make you.
It really is.
When I get my rest, I am so far behind on TV.
Yeah, it's hard.
Did you see the meme that was there about the where Boehner says, that I'm serious about that suing thing, and Obama says, "Yeah, I'm a constitutional lawyer, and you're an idiot."
Yeah,
it's amazing.
And that's why
anyway, that was
throw
happening.
in people's faces. You have a Harvard-educated constitutional lawyer as your president. Fuck with him.
Yep.
Right.
Go ahead, try it.
Try it.
Yeah.
Yeah, work that shit out.
And then argue economics with what's-her-butt from Boston, from Massachusetts.
Elizabeth Warren. She's fucking
Warren.
amazing.
Genius.
Try
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Try
and
it.
then,
So,
one more
and
thing.
do it. Please do it publicly.
Christiana Amanpour.
Just do
Argue foreign affairs with her. Here's your challenges.
Please.
My little fucktard Republicans that I hate you. First, I want you to take on the constitutional lawyer that's our president. Then I want you to take on Elizabeth Warren on economics. And then Christiana Amanpour. When she tells you the situation's fucked, you walk away. Because that bitch don't lie. She's not pretty. No, she's lovely, I think.
I think she's.
I do too.
She's not a glamour puss. She's just the smartest fucking woman in the room.
And if
quite
you're
frankly,
I don't like accents, but I love her.
If you're Newt Gingrich and you start arguing with her, oh, sweetie, you are swimming in a pool that has no lifeguard.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I digress.
But we appreciate it.
Okay, so that was going on.
a lifeguard?
So we love the president for, and it just, again, it makes me like a smidge crazy when we talk about, when there's real hardcore activists in our LGBT community who are like, he's not doing enough. I just want to shove a boot up their asses, all of them.
But why do you think? So do you think that they are doing that as a?
No, because they want everything to be Stonewall. They want to march. They want to throw.
Trying to play fair a little bit.
No, I don't agree with anything they do.
Thank
go
you.
on.
I was just, and by the way, not agreeing. KJ, not agreeing. I'm not.
No,
I love it when you two fight.
Because they're such cute fights. Anyway, watch. Meow.
Meow cow.
Stop it. Anyway.
Meow cow.
But I think when people try to, because I'm the same way. When people go to that, I'm like, would you fucking knock it off?
Just stop it.
Like we have this, and there's this in. Let's use that, and let's use that in a very diplomatic way.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Right. But let's use that diplomatically and get in there and make it not, I don't know. So I'll digress on that.
Yeah. Well, I actually.
But when you have people that are like, no, it has to be this.
And they go, and it has to be this right now, or it can't be anything.
You lose everyone.
You really do. I totally agree with you.
Because I think people go, done.
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely.
Yeah,
you're totally right. One thing I thought was kind of interesting. I was looking on. Kirsten's webpage. So her birthday's coming up. So we're doing an event for her birthday, and it's gonna be fun. But anyway, someone wrote on there, "Don't go. She supports the war," and all of
Aaron,
these things.
get off
and
that website.
I know. Stop.
No. Listen, it was really great.
Kidding.
This one guy was like, "She's horrible, and she's a Republican, and she's in Democrats' clothing, and we hate her." And the next guy got in and goes, "You're crazy." And I looked at this guy. It's some crazy old Tea Party. He's like, "She loves she's a communist," and da 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 da. And the next person wrote, "I mean, she's pissing people off on both sides. She must be doing something right."
Yeah.
Like she is doing something right in the middle because these fucking guys on the crazy on the right hate her, crazy on the left hate her. So she's doing something right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it just made me kind of very proud of her. It was like this moment where I went, yeah, all right. So anyway, but yes, you're always going to just piss people off.
You are.
But
If you have an opinion.
And thank you, Meow Cal, by the way, for the North Dakota information.
Yeah,
very much.
But
Thanks for looking that up.
I say that about this show, about anything that you do. If you have an opinion, and especially if you're a woman, because that is the wrong thing to do, is be a woman with an opinion. I don't know if you've heard.
Just be a woman, actually. Totally. It's like basically illegal.
Shut your vagina up now.
Shut your vag hole. So
people are just going to hate you. Like that's
Really?
just the way it's going to go.
We'll just talk really, really quickly. We all know, of course, what's going on with Hobby Lobby. Supreme Court delivered a blow to universal birth control coverage, ruling that closely held, which means like what, 5
Is the phrase "delivered a blow"
owners
really what you want to use?
It should be, right? It should be.
Not today, Berta.
Closely held corporations can refuse to cover contraception in their health plans for religious reasons, which makes me crazy. And I realize that they're talking about IUDs, but like when you just like think about the idea that birth control is, that some people think any form of birth control, like just birth control is a form of abortion.
Right, exactly.
I'll never get it.
And I'll almost listen to arguments because of my risk of pregnancy is lower.
Here's what I will say. Not today, Berta.
Not today.
And maybe not tomorrow.
Yeah.
But who knows what the future brings?
And it might be because of my advanced gestational age.
You like
Do you think they won't let me into the convent because I'm Jewish? Anyways. Is that the first problem that comes up? So the plan B pill and whatever the other pill is, I will give you. I will let you argue that fact that you're kind of waiting till after the horse has left the barn.
Sure,
but still, we're gonna go.
And we're not talking about the stud.
And I like to go with the quickening. Like that's a Jewish phrase.
Yeah,
and it really is the quickening. And that is a term of
it's
pregnancy
thing that they use in old books.
And it really tells you like when some people think life begins is at the quickening, and that's the thing. And you can argue it, not argue it. It's always a fetus. Blah blah. Either way, an IUD though. No fucking way. You're just doing something a little, and is it more natural? I'm not sure. Is it healthier? Is there a risk of infection? Yes, there's arguments to be made, but I am sorry.
That's not my boss's business.
Right, but to just say I have an IUD in place to prevent these things, and you have to take other precautions because there's other worries out there when you're having sex, that an IUD doesn't take care of everything you need out of your contraception. I just think when you get to IUDs, I'm going to need to shoot you in the fucking head between the eyes, Hobby Lobby, and place that makes cabinets. Right. Because your firmly held religious beliefs are in line with serious fucking moral retards. Yes. Like you have the morals of a pig at this point. You're trying to get out of laws just because you hate Obama.
Yeah. Yes. That is exactly right. It is
it goes back to hate speech.
Hobby Lobby just sells crap from China. I've never been in one and I'll never go. But it's all made in China, which has state-sanctioned abortions to keep the birth rate low.
And they'd like to get rid of girls.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they do, like, selective screening.
Exactly.
And their 401k invests in companies that create, produce. You are so hypocritical.
It's just because they don't like the president. That's it. It's because they're Republicans.
And then to sit there and for
he's a black president.
And for these fucktards to just stand there and say, now I've lost my point because I'm so angered. But all they're saying is, we don't want government. All they say when you say Obamacare, they're like, we don't want government involved making decisions in our health care. But we, as your boss, want to be involved in your health care.
Right.
Either you don't want someone involved in your health care, or you want to live in my vagina.
Right.
Make your fucking choice and make it today. And I want to seriously, and I don't care, we're probably going to get hate speech people. If we get protesters out here, I think we're doing the right thing, and I'm sorry you live here.
I think that's exceptional. Yeah, we'll move studios. I've got a pool house. They don't know where I live.
A small fire at a Hobby Lobby would not be a bad thing.
Stop it!
So listen, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, notorious RBG. So she wrote
97 years old with
Dissent.
pancreatic cancer. Like, she is our hero.
She is fucking hanging on.
Yes,
That's what you've got? I love it.
She wrote The Dissent, and so, which is quite long, 35 pages, I think.
So talk about that. When you have your people that were for it, and then
All men.
she wrote all fucking
All
men.
men.
Seeing
All men.
their faces, and one of them being that fucking
Alito.
that no, you have no idea. But that little black guy with the pubic hair and the can. And
I was thinking
him.
how awful.
I'm not kidding. I hate him.
We have to go back for just a second. One of the most profound episodes of episodic sitcom television ever, and it was with Julia Duffy in Designing Women, is when Designing Women with Julia Duffy and
made a play on
not Suzanne Sugarbaker, what's her Julia Sugarbaker took on Anita Hill and that fucktard. What's his name?
Clarence Thomas.
Clarence Thomas. What?
Kidding.
I don't care how you get it. Pay your dollar. Don't cheap out now. Pay the $1.99 on Hulu Plus and watch the two of them debate Anita Hill. What's his name?
Clarence
Thomas. Watch them debate it. And for a sitcom in real time to take on that debate is
huge.
Amazing.
Sure.
Again, cannot say enough good things about
the idea that he that you saw
asks
those
no
faces
questions.
and that fucking I can't watching and Scalia watching.
Oh, and Scalia, read it. I love that.
Well, and John Roberts, it pisses me off because he has in the past been a voice of reason, and I don't like. I feel like he's John Roberts is a smart guy. So why did he go this route?
Well,
but they actually said, and then it gets a little bit more like, kind of in the weeds. But he said, "Oh well, the employees can then file basically for free birth control through other routes, but it's just bullshit.
But then if you're in Mississippi,
why should they have to?
But then if you're in Mississippi or all of these states that have banned Planned Parenthood and put all these things, and there's is it Mississippi that has one Planned Parenthood for the entire state?
Yeah, there's so
where are you going to go for a safe place to go for one of these couple options?
Really quickly about there were the 8 best lines from her dissent. So it was 35
Ruth Bader
pages.
Ginsburg, ladies and gentlemen.
So I won't read all of them.
I won't interrupt you, I promise.
I won't read all of them, but a couple of them are
try.
good. It says the exemptions sought by Hobby Lobby and Conestoga would deny legions of women who do not hold their employer's belief access to contraceptive coverage. Religious organizations exist to foster the interest of persons subscribing to the same religious faith. Not so for-profit corporations. Workers who sustain the operations of those corporations commonly are not drawn from one religious community. It bears note in this regard that the cost of an IUD is nearly equivalent to a month's full-time pay for workers earning the minimum wage. So
which
these
the
women
Republicans won't raise.
Cannot afford to do it any other way. Approving some religious claims while deeming others unworthy of accommodation could be perceived as favoring one religion over another.
I
the
lied.
very risk of the the Constitution's Establishment Clause was designed to preclude, and the court, I fear, has ventured into a minefield, which it has.
Blow the fuck up.
There are a couple of other really good ones. One of the, this one's so good. Would the exemption extend to employers with religiously grounded objections to blood transfusions, Jehovah's Witnesses, antidepressants, Scientologists, medications derived from pigs, including anesthesias, IV fluids, pills coated with gelatin, certain Muslims, Jews, and Hindus, and vaccinations? Not much help there that the lower courts are bound by today's decision.
And then you have HIV medications.
That's right.
What if you're like religious? Now we're back to Arizona's law.
Yeah,
about
because you've opened
1062.
it up.
You opened it up and you've said
that's right.
Now you're back to Arizona's law of like what's legal. Can you say I will not pay for your HIV meds because I have a deeply held religious belief that you're a fucking whore,
that you're a faggot,
that you're
I mean, that's what
my
it comes down to.
I feel like we're calling you names.
Belief is against
and forgive me for that kind of that anger in it, but that's how it's looked at
My
that
religion.
religious
I mean, then you look at that
perspective.
congressional dickbag who wants to still stone gays. So he owns a company,
That
and
would
he
be
says,
Oklahoma, yeah.
he owns a company and says,
Yeah.
my deeply held religious belief
That's right.
is that gay is bad, and I just can't. I
That's
can't
No, so now
give you your medication.
and I haven't. That's what I was trying to get to earlier in the show. Is the one person I've left on my page that's deeply conservative,
Mm-hmm.
and I think whatever he said, he deleted it, but I still got the email of his comment.
Okay.
I think he felt the tone of writing on my page and deleted his own comment. So I'm trying to find it on my email to see what he said about all this. But there's no way to
a conservative person left on your page.
Oh no,
It's
because I
amazing.
do. But you just have to say, like, you've just sanctioned the government. Like, what is the First Amendment or whatever amendment? I think it's the First Amendment. Like, there will be no state religion.
There is now.
There is now. It's Hobby Lobby because
Correct.
they just said it. So now anybody
Correct.
that comes up, your religious beliefs now trump. And I love it. The meme that I found last night that had the fetus. That said person, the
building,
that said
person,
and then the woman said,
and Molly had that.
Yeah.
And did Molly get that from you?
I'm not sure who we stole it from.
One way
who.
or another, but when I saw that, I thought that was fucking brilliant.
So,
You're
couple
just
other
like-
really
Yeah.
quick things. The U.S. is out of the World Cup.
Wow, she's the one that took us out of that one. Good job, you.
Good.
Well,
And the Phoenix Mercury, by the way, is killing it. They're number one in the Western Conference. 11
Well
wins,
played.
3 losses. They are literally murdering the
loving it.
WNBA right now.
Love
So
it.
go Merc.
But
and
I
that's
said we all
it in
Sports!
sports.
And
Other stuff. Ooh. And we're gonna.
You did.
Did you have something else you were gonna throw in there?
No, I just want to say that I hope we keep in because I've loved it. Like I've been doing the gym. I've been doing the gym a lot and trying to and do that kind of stuff. And I have to say, like, I've enjoyed watching. I kind of think of them as like role models in soccer. Like
Who's
they're
that?
so fit.
Oh, soccer players.
They're
Oh,
just
God.
so fit and they like to hug each other. It's all
Atta
about
girl.
world love. They help each other up off the field, or if they don't think you're really injured, they drag you off to the sidelines so the
Or
game
if
can
they're
keep going.
Suarez, they just bite you.
If they think you're a fucking liar,
Accidental.
they drag your carcass
Accidental.
up. It's just hot guys doing hot things.
By the way, to all the networks out there, we are going to go over time, just so you know.
Not by much.
Yeah, but we'll figure it out. Doesn't fucking matter. We own the network. Who cares? Here we go. Thoughtful vulgarity.
And now, thoughtful vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
Hi.
Hi.
It's
Hello.
So just to finish up what we were saying here, in case you're watching on camera and wondering, I was watching pundits on that, listening to pundits on that asshole radio station that I play, and
The local one?
fucktards. But I have to say that the person that they brought in that they thought was going to agree with them and just sing along because they had their deeply held religious beliefs, like they do on everything because they're assholes. But the lady that they interviewed, I can't remember, it was later a man. Are they both gay? She said there's really well-written laws that stand the test of time, and then there's like really poorly written ones that you know are like a house of cards are gonna fall down because the first woman that comes and sues because she's being discriminated against by religion, they have to fold. The first woman from Hobby Lobby that says
I want to go get a job at Hobby Lobby.
Oh my God, let's
so
go
that I
sue
can-
them
tomorrow.
And they said
Sue
that
them.
this law will fall so fast because it's so poorly worded, and they didn't.
And it's
and they were so afraid
so
of.
holy.
I need a third job.
How can it not? How can it be legal?
But what they were saying was
Aaron?
they were so on the Christian side that what they were worried about was like, we've just opened the door for Hobby Lobby's crazy religion, but we just opened the door for every religion that we hate. You know what I mean? Because Christians, they only like Jews because they want the Holy Land. Like
Because if it would have been a Muslim or somebody else doing it, we would have fucking light our hair
and
on
that's
fire.
what they're saying.
absolutely never allowed it.
Right, that the
'Cause
minute
this is a Christian nation,
but
people.
all of a sudden you turn it around and you've just opened the door for religious freedom, and when somebody wants religious freedom for another religion, they're gonna cave like a house of cards. And that's what this lady on the fucktard radio station was saying. She's like, this is one of the worst written decisions, and if you read it, Ruth Bader's argument against is so much stronger than their weakly worded argument for. That's why they think she spent so much time, is so that when someone comes and sues against it,
She'd be like, "Fuck you, people, I'm out."
no, they're just going to quote it word for. They're going to have to quote her dissent
She'd be like,
instead of their ruling.
Boom, and drop that mic, and she'll be like, "I'm out."
Okay, so here's our question.
I'm
All
with
right.
you,
Oh my God.
Harrison and Katie
Oh, and I got to catch up.
and my girl.
I know, and Harris, I'm the same way. I can't even think about it.
Yeah, that's. I
know.
haven't even I didn't do any of the Facebook posts because I just didn't even know.
It does.
I
It
couldn't
makes me
wrap. I
fucking
couldn't
crazy.
get my thoughts together.
Yeah.
I was trying
Yeah.
to plan my insomnia so carefully this week, where like Monday I slept, but Tuesday I was awake. That I'm like, I can't turn on the TV because
I
I
know.
don't. I knew the Supreme Court ruling was coming,
Yep.
so I'm like, don't turn it on. Just watch Nurse Jackie. But of course, to get to
Yeah.
Nurse Jackie,
Get to pass
I
CNN.
had to turn it on.
my TV's automatically set to CNN, and I saw it, and I watched like 5 minutes, and I'm like, you're just gonna lay in bed awake. You're
Yeah.
just gonna lay in bed pissed off. Okay, so here's our question.
Okay.
Do you think you have much impact on the lives of people whose paths you cross, and has anyone over a short period of time significantly influenced your life? A short period of time. Of course, long period of time would be, easy answers, but do you think there's someone that you've had an impact on?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
Oh, we really are going to get out of here by 10.
Clayton
Survey
answered
says
as well.
yes.
Yes.
Good night, everyone.
So I guess the real question would be, has anyone what person that you met just briefly significantly influenced your life?
For me, that's so easy
Okay.
to answer. It was the chili cook-off of 2000.
I honestly didn't see it coming that time.
I didn't either. Not at all.
God damn it.
That a girl, Berta.
Flummoxed.
Now, for me, because of the work I do, and the people that come into my life.
Payroll?
For
Yeah.
Payroll.
God damn it. I can't. See, I was trying to be good.
Okay.
But the people that I work with and the situations that some of the folks that I meet are in, I might only know them for a day or talk to them on the phone for 3 or 4 hours, but I'm truly on the phone for that amount of time, and then I never speak to them again. But I remember them, and there are things about their story that stick with me, and they're things that they've added to my life without even knowing it so easily.
Could you be specific?
The idea of not taking simple things for granted, because the people that I work with have developmental disabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And so the families that are working with, the families that I'm working with, that are living with these folks with challenges, I think, what am I bitching about? What did I just have a problem with? I got real mad about this one thing, but then I just spent the last 2 hours on the phone with this family that told me a story about the fact that they can't physically help their child into a bathtub any longer because they've become too strong or too heavy or too this or that. But the state won't give them services because they can't seem to believe that they need them and find a justification for it. So like you go through all of that, and then I'm walking around and I don't know, I go to do something and I'm like, God damn it, why didn't that work? And I get real mad about the dumbest
Stupidest,
shit.
Yeah.
So do they touch me in a
Like
very
your
short
iPhone shorts.
Right.
And you're annoyed.
Or I'm talking on it and then I go to do something else and it's frozen for a little while.
And you're
Are
so
you
annoyed.
kidding?
I get
The world has ended.
My internet
do you know
my
how
internet
important I
connection
am?
ended. This was
Yeah.
like interrupted this morning, and it was like, in our whole.
Yeah.
I mean, it was such a first world problem that we were like,
Thank
oh my
you.
god, what the fuck? This Cox,
Yeah.
god damn it, and we were pissed.
I love that you just said it in that way because I have a book that Erin's sister, my hopefully future sister-in-law, I'm just saying in general, is in Africa right now, and she
like
comes
the
back-
rains down in Africa?
She does.
I bless them.
Yeah.
Ah, good.
She comes back at the end of this month, and you go places and you find things like different gifts or different funny things, and I found this thing at LGO that said first world problems or white women's problems or something like this.
White people problems.
The
White
fact that you
people
go to
problems.
LGO and buy stuff?
Oh God, it makes me exactly like doing
this
that.
book is so expensive.
I think I'll have 5.
Yeah.
Anyway, and you open it, and it really is. It's like my iPhone doesn't work. I tried to flush the toilet, and whatever it is. But with the folks that I work with and work for, very simple to be able to take a step back and say, I have nothing, nothing to bitch about with the different issues they have. So, in answer, it's easy. Sorry.
Katie June.
Can you repeat the question, please?
And use it in a sentence.
Yeah.
And then
has anyone over a short period of time, that way you can't like fall into like parents, significantly influenced your life? Like someone that you met just briefly that just came into your world,
Katie, I'm right
changed
here.
it, moved on.
I don't have to mention me.
I'm going to sound silly, but I think I I listened to the question wrong when you first said it. And so,
but the first part of the question was, do you feel like you've ever influenced, been an
and
like,
so that was where my answer was
hanging
coming
my
from.
hat on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I didn't want to appear to be saying no one has influenced me, but let me tell you how many people I have influenced.
You're stealing my thunder.
Yeah,
not today, Berta.
Not today.
Because
You're not influencing me today, Berta.
Because
not
I
today.
don't certainly
down,
don't
Berta.
mean that.
I'll
but,
kill that bird in front of you.
But it was actually right after we did the gala, and I got a handful of email messages from people that were just really touching, and it wasn't me. It had nothing to do with me. It was because my name was on the website, so it was like they could email me. But it was it was this one couple, an older lesbian who has been with her partner for many, many years, and like no one in their family knows. Right, their family probably knows, but no one knows. They're not out at work. They're not out to their families, and they came to this dinner together and watched Nate Roten on stage invite his mom and his sister and his grandmother up, and me talking about my partner and our child, and my parents were sitting right there, and just kind of everyone just being so open with who they are. And this woman emailed and just said, we don't know each other, but it was just so inspiring, and my partner and I are going to do it. We're going to come out to our families, like we're going to do this, like we're going to live authentically.
The Harvey Milk, come out wherever you are.
Yeah, really.
Because you are a profound influence on others in that situation.
Right. So and then another young kid who's actually gotten more involved. He's so wonderful. He's literally been out for like since the gala, maybe just before, but he came somehow. He volunteered, and he said
somehow.
No,
I've got a couple guesses.
So bad. So he volunteered at the gala, and he's young. He's only 20. And it was like a really hard thing. He's super gay, real cute. And his parents obviously know. But he said it's just been so hard to live authentically, again, around his family. But being at this gala, he's like, this is the most gay people I've ever been around, ever. And like, I'm looking at all these people who are successful and happy and like well put together. And he's from a really small town in Arizona. He's like from Strawberry, something crazy,
Sure.
And he's like, it just like, wasn't a part of his life, like it wasn't a part of his thinking that you could come out and be gay and be happy and be healthy and be successful.
And there was an old thing that
loved.
That a former generation had, that they just thought gay is silly. They thought that homosexuals were just silly and it wasn't a serious lifestyle, and they had no, if you've seen Angels in America, they have no political clout.
And it was
like
a
you're
choice.
you're just opening yourself up to a lifestyle of like ridicule, and no one will ever take you seriously. You're always going to be the joke. And the Angels in America thing, like Al Pacino says, like you will never have any political clout. You can't get anything done politically. Why would anyone align themselves with you?
Yeah.
And then you see a movement like HRC, the people that are fighting for marriage equality, and you see like, okay, we're that part of what Tony Kushner was saying is now coming true. Like we now have political clout because we're standing
a
up.
lot.
And now we're standing with women. We're standing with allies. Like you have to know, like the fight is all of ours, and we have to stand together to have that political clout against the white men.
Right.
It's a very important part to what you're doing there at HRC with the example of like it's a serious thing, and it has political clout.
And when you hear that it touches those individual people who like take the time out to say, hey, here's how this has impacted me.
Yeah.
It makes you go, well, if we've only like helped this one couple say we're going to live authentically to our family.
Oh my God, then you've done so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's inspiring.
Yeah, then your $12 a person makes a lot of difference. I pay attention.
Clayton?
The state for spending $12 a person, right? I at the risk of sounding similar to what she was saying earlier, and I don't want to make it a foo-foo statement. I really the short term of meeting people, I typically have the pleasure of knowing more people long term, and that's where the influences come from. I could probably sit here for the next hour and probably come up with one. Just nothing comes to my mind right now. Something that's short term. I have so many wonderful long term that have influenced me in so many different ways. But I have, and I think similar to what Katie was just saying. I tell the story that some guy that ran into in the bar that remembered me. I didn't remember him, and he said. He'd been gone for 10 years or whatever it was, and he remembered me from like when his first Pride, like when he first was there, like at 17, 18 or whatever it was, and he'd been gone for like 10 years, and he showed back up, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're still here! You're one of the people I remember. You're one of the you were part of like the parades or my first Prides, and you're part of that foundation for me where I came out and I found myself." And he got the word wrong. That's the one where he says, "You're such a landmark."
Yeah,
and I realized what he meant.
You are a building,
right? But it's like that. so there's that kid, and then I because I have hosted so many different things, I do have the pleasure of so many people. They have good memories of, or I'm involved in these good memories of their life where it's a coming out or it's a family thing or they had so much fun or they saw, like you were saying, all the people at HRC that are successful in doing things and they have a life and they function like normal people, and then they realize, well, wait a minute, I can do that too, and they get the inspiration to go and do their own thing. Now,
it's just a little bit of courage,
right,
and a little bit of perseverance.
Now, the closer thing, and I think you've experienced a little bit of this conversation only because you know the gentleman. If he's indeed in this house or the structure at this time, Michael has told me several times that I literally am the father he's never had because his father was an absentee person. He wasn't around. Sure. He wasn't around at all. Didn't support him. Wasn't there for school. Wasn't there for so many different things. And I haven't really been either in those so many aspects. But I've been the sounding board. I've been the one to listen to him. I'm the one who said, "Do this, don't do this," which he needed the direction.
It's interesting though. You're saying I haven't necessarily been that person, but he sees you as that person, right? You said his father hasn't been there, and neither have I. But you have been.
Well, no, because he just met him. He met him later, is what he's saying. Like he wasn't there for the formative years because he didn't know him. But
and
he stepped into the role.
He has even said that other people in his life that should have been in that adult, that directive of, don't do this, do this. A lot of people didn't give him that direction because they were occupied with their other things. And in his own words, dealing with their own shit and they were paddling to try to stay afloat and, start swimming, kid, because you'll figure it out. And he never, in some cases, you don't figure it out. Somebody has to tell you.
You need help. Yeah, people need help.
Right.
So, and I realized I've known him, like I met him when he had just turned 19 and now he's just turned 24. So it's like, wow, that 5 years went by pretty quick.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
heartwarming. Yeah, that's very sweet.
So that's always nice when I hear that. And again, it's and Mom and I have talked about this before. For somebody who never wanted kids, I have no desire for them.
Oh, yeah.
I have them all over the place.
Yeah, you're doing a really good job.
I apparently have people that look to me for direction all the time, and I don't know why.
I call them mentees, not children.
And then the funny thing is, and I also go, you and I've joked about this 100 times. People come to us for relationship advice. The two people in the whole valley that you should not come to because we're not in relationships.
But whatever I say, do the opposite because that's probably the right way to go.
Now, you, sir, who has influenced you?
The one that kind of struck me recently, my dear friend Justin, who I've always considered like a younger brother. I just adore him, and he recently got engaged, and I'm going to his engagement party as part of this grand tour of the Northeast. He offered a toast. I saw him in New York, and he and his fiance at the time, just boyfriend, were having drinks, and he offered a toast to the two of us, and he said to me, like, to you who made me like want to be a proud gay man. And then to his fiance, he's like, to the person that makes me proud that I'm a gay man.
Oh.
And it was just one of those things where like my constant like nagging at him about, not nagging, but just constant like
general talking.
I would say reinforcement. And so what he said was he just recently changed jobs, and at his job interview, it was the first time he'd ever done it, but he's now in his 30s. He's successful. He was going at a job interview where he didn't need them as much as they needed him, and he was like, I'm a gay
That was the
man.
first, yeah.
I have a partner. When we do anything, this is who is coming with me. I need to know where you stand on the fact that there's a man that will be in the role of my spousal equivalent for the duration of my employment. And he said, he's like, that's because of you. Because you told me I should do that at a job interview. And he's like, and I finally had the courage and the man next to me to do it. And I was very proud of that. Because like I said, he's like my little brother. And then for me, it was about relationships. Like, and working at the bar, I had a lot of like quick conversations with. Thank you. If you're gonna call me a whore, I'll take
tonight,
it.
Berta.
Not tonight, Berta.
Tonight.
It's gonna be a long, drawn-out session, Berta, because you don't have long to live. So we're gonna make it worth it.
Fuck that bird.
Yeah, we're gonna make that bird wish it died.
Let's make the bird sing.
So anyways, but a couple times in meeting people that you would meet on vacations or who were just there because they read us about it in the Gay Guide. And one day I was just telling us, and I wasn't talking to the person that was sitting there. I was talking to someone else, and I was talking about my family or something to do with parental units. And this stranger just said to me out of nowhere, he was like, you can't blame somebody for loving you the way that they know how. And I was just talking about like the fact that my family was so like not involved with my real life. Like everyone at the bar kind of knew my personal hopes, dreams, talents, wishes, ambitions better than my family did. And this guy was like, well, you really can't blame them. That's how they love you. So just get over it. Either accept that that's how they love you and move on, or just write them off.
That's really interesting.
But that's that's what they have to offer. And I really came to see as a way of like, all right, I have to tell them what's important to me, or I can't expect them like if I don't share it, they can't know it. And then at the same time, like my mom was never going to be a huggy cheerleader person. She was going to be a 4'11" little German bitch who was just going to
make
you're
good
nice.
drinks.
You're like, yeah, no, but she was gonna say something like, I think you're a nice person. What the fuck do you want from me? Shut up. Can we have a drink? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like she would just say, I like you a lot. Are we done? Like, can we just
what do you need? Yeah, a verbal hug? What the fuck?
Yeah,
Enough.
What's the story here?
Right,
like,
right.
you know what I mean? And my mom was, she just had a
That was
way
her.
of, and you had to accept it. Like, that's what she's giving. Either you take it or you
Right.
write her out of your life. And I was like, well, I'm going to take it because she means it sincerely. And then I had a friendship problem a few years ago. And I was at the bar one day, and I was bitching to someone about the story. And again, a perfect stranger just said, and it was just funny they brought this up because it's from the book of questions. And a stranger just said to me, as I was complaining about, like, this person just constantly pisses me off. I can't take it anymore. And this guy, like, was like listening to me, and he goes, and you've never pissed anyone off before? And I'm like, God fucking
I hate it when people point
Well,
that
now
shit
you
out.
piss me off too, asshole.
Yes.
But it really did change my perspective in like my interactions with people. Where like, yes, everyone pisses you off at some point or another. At every point, you're going to be annoyed by someone. But then you have to remember, you also
Annoy people.
and piss someone off, but they're still your friend. So you just be like, all right, yes, that was an annoying moment, but we're still friends.
Right.
So
Totally.
we just
Nobody
have,
died.
That's
no,
right.
yeah. And even if they did, so what? Meh. But you just have to forgive people as like, that's just how they are. Move on. And it was just so funny to have somebody interject with me bitching at somebody at the bar, like, and you've never pissed anybody off. And I piss people off on a daily basis.
Right.
Thanks for pointing that
I
out.
just put Ann Coulter suicide on my Facebook page.
Oh, I still
That's
Not
true,
looking to
you
make a
did.
lot of friends.
Yep.
You did do that,
And
I've
Harrison's
shared
was
it.
good. Harrison said that the first time that she saw this divorced woman who was glamorous in the small town that she's from, she had that same thought about like, oh, you don't have to live in this small town existence. You don't have to conform. Like, you can be your own person. And that was a big deal for her, and it was just someone she glimpsed.
Interesting.
Yeah, so...
It made an impression on her.
And it made an
mind.
impression that
Yeah.
makes you say, like, I can be my own person and fuck you all.
Yeah.
That's right.
True that. It
like
is the
it.
end of another show. We thank you for being with
Thank
us.
you for the book of
Do
questions.
not forget, we are not here July 8th. We are taking a week off. So enjoy your 4th of July holiday. We'll be back with
Clayton
you
will pick a
after
good
that.
repeat.
I'll figure out something to do. Who knows? Maybe we'll play Flying Fur again. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, we'll see you in a
Not
couple
tonight,
weeks.
Rita.
But before
tonight.
we leave you with these lovely, comforting words. We will
See you next
Tuesday! Or the Tuesday after that.
Yeah.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.